You remember where we were?
Hey everybody, this is Grimcat, and we are getting ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons today, and we are in the custom, campaign setting of the Seas of Vodari, which is a fun piratey thing, a little different, you know. I'm joined by several of my friends, and we are going to go down the line. We're going to go up the line, actually, and introduce ourselves. We're going to say who we are and who we are playing. So we'll go ahead and start down at the bottom with Sergio. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Sergio. I'm playing Kaya, the druid monk.
I don't know why, but the druid monk sounds funny to me. Uh, we'll move up to Kyo. Say hi.
Hello, I'm Kyo. I am playing Azori, the Celestial Warlock.
We'll move right on up to Nikki. Say hi.
Hi.
And we'll move up to Mufasa. Say hi.
Mufasa, I'm playing Shafa, the halfling rogue fighter.
And last, but certainly not least, we'll say hi to 420.
Hello, I am Nix.
You're also real quiet.
My mic was a little
Fair
bit away,
enough.
and I'm talking a little bit quiet at the moment. I'm still warming my voice up. I only woke up an hour or two ago.
I see. So last time we did a lot of talking, like a whole lot of talking.
It was
And
the pacifist episode.
what's that?
Pacifist episode.
It was pretty much the pacifist episode. So we agreed to for the village that we would go and we would wipe out the Sahagwin, the Sea Devils. We started to go across the island so we could talk with the rest of the survivors back at their base to appraise them of what's going on, do all that kind of thing. As we were starting to go across a bridge, we were stopped by several of the tribe's folk, saying that the Sahagwin were actually there on the tide pools, sort of taking their forage. We saw this as a great opportunity to go ahead and, well, honestly, take some captives and find some things out about information. But when we got there, we saw a familiar face. We saw our dear, long-lost friend, Stubby. As some quick thinking and some nice die rolls, I believe, on a couple of people's parts, Stubby being included in that, we managed to sort of resolve this situation peacefully. He sort of found himself in the company of the other Sahagwin, and he was welcomed in, much like we were with the tribal folk. He sort of tells a slightly different story about things, you know. It's sort of a story of bitter resentment on both sides, but certainly much more resentment on the sides of the villagers than the sides of the Sahagwin. Although, you know, a sticking point that we come up with several times in later conversations that the Sahagwins do, you know, they eat people.
It is only subjectively evil.
As has
Just
been
because
brought up
they're
in
the
the
ones
party
being
as
eaten.
well.
Just because they're the ones
I
being
don't,
eaten.
I don't know if they eat people.
I've never seen them eat a person.
I've never
I've
seen
seen
them
them
eat
foraging.
anyone.
We don't
I've seen
know.
them We've seen them foraging, actively foraging in the tide pools, not hunting the village that was 200 yards away.
But either way, we sort of got to talking with them, and Stumpy was under the impression that he could convince the Sahagwin to do sort of much the same thing for them as you were going to do for the village. You know, they have a task or something that they need accomplished, and should you manage to accomplish it, they would be willing to help you with sort of this large fight that's a brewing with the god Kabuka. we left more or less amicably. I think definitely on the more side amicably, and actually went back to the tribe and sort of informed them what was going on. Hey, we have this way to solve everybody's problems at once. This was met with sort of less enthusiasm that we may have thought would have been met with. It seems that's sort of true to what had been, I guess, sort of alluded to, that the tribespeople were much more interested in them being the only ones having their problems resolved rather than everybody having their problems resolved. But I think sort of the last thing was that they more or less agreed with, if you do this thing for the Sahagwin, you get the Sahagwin to move, so that the Sahagwin are no longer encroaching on the tribe's folks' lands, then everything would be good enough. Not necessarily what they want, but certainly good enough that the tribe's people will, in fact, help you with sort of the task you have at hand of murdering their god.
The tribes people are just like, they are the bad guys, man. They just want blood. The Sahagwin are just like, man, we just want to go chill on our own island, and then these tribes people are like, dead. We want them dead.
So we told Stumpy that we'd meet him in 2 days' time at the beach where we washed up at. Right now, we are actually in the village. I was actually looking on the main map. I forgot to pull you all on there. And we had sort of, just finished this conversation. What is our plan? Is our plan sort of to hang around the village for the next 2 days? Is it to head across for the next little bit and see, Captain Tecklin and the others?
We have to.
Yeah.
We are on a tight time schedule. We have to go fight the
Personally,
bugs.
I think we should go see Tecklin, and then go down, and then make our camp before we do the crossing to the village, to the bugs, and then wipe the bugs out, and then come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the point of going to tackle it?
Because we still haven't actually told them that it's advised that they move closer, but not into the village and everything. We still haven't gotten around to telling them that.
Sure, but that's not necessarily important, is it? Like, we can do that whenever.
It is for the... I mean, it's not important for us or Tecklin, but for the village, they seem to have a preference that they be closer than further away.
Plus, we have been gone a few days, so it might be
Yeah.
best to kind of check back in on them, like let them know what happened.
That
It's gonna take like a whole day to get over there, though, at the very least.
No, don't...
Or not
Doesn't it
very least, but I mean,
take,
it's like a
half-
day's travel.
It's fairly close to a day's travel. It's not a full day's travel, it's pretty close to it.
Which means we wouldn't make the bugs, because we have to walk all the way to the tech land.
You have
Feller.
2 days to meet the bugs.
Mm.
To go
That's
to
on
the
that.
cave to where it is, that is.
So we can go see Tecklin, and then our first night, like, we don't stay with the camp at Tecklin. We basically just turn up, have a quick 5-10 minute conversation, check in, and then piss back off to the south end of the island to get ready to go fight the bugs.
I thought the bugs were from. Like, what are the bugs? Are,
According to the
something's,
Sahagwin, the bugs are on a different island somewhere around 40 miles or so south of this island.
Yeah, but don't we? We need the wave skippers to get there.
Yes.
Like, I don't think Captain Cookie, whatever his name was, I don't remember his actual name. Stubby. I don't believe he's taking us there. Like, we're supposed to get there ourselves and then go to him and report we've done it. Correct?
Yeah.
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 So then
He
shouldn't
was
we
definitely
leave
going to
while we're here?
show you where it was. You weren't going to wander the ocean for this, place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was the point of meeting up with
We-
him.
Yeah.
We don't have 2 days to beat the bugs. We have 2 days before we've got to go meet him to be taken to
Fair
the bugs.
enough then. I figured we had 2 days to get the thing done.
No,
So,
no, no. We have 2 days before we even start the thing.
so
Yes.
man, we should have just said let's do it now. Can we call Stubby back in here?
Yeah, let's call the Sahagwan to the village.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Then let's go talk to Declan and all that. I guess.
Okay, so my question for you is, are you planning on returning here to the village?
No, I believe we're going to the
Um,
cave then. After we visit Declan.
Well, we should probably actually ask the villagers if we can use wave striders then. Now, while we're here.
We'll go
Didn't they not
ahead
need the wave
and
riders?
hand wave a little bit of it. I mean, you know, they sort of agreed to your doing this thing, albeit grudgingly. They won't just strand you out in the middle of the nowhere and say, haha, well, these are our things, you can't use them.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So what they will actually do is they will have, you know, the 5 wave striders waiting for you at the caves.
Okay. And I will tell them that I will put on a good show to thank them when we get back and to celebrate the coming truce.
You know, of course, they're still a little leery of it, but perhaps they've warmed up to the idea. Perhaps, I mean, perhaps not. You know, hard to say exactly.
I'd make it very explicit that, you know, we are by no means expecting them to abide by Sahagwin in their territory or anything. We're not going to be inviting them up into the village or anything like that. But as long as they're not baying for each other's throats over tide pools and everything like that.
I'm actually going to leave this one here because it's very funny. Which you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. But so from here all the way across, you know, takes the better part of the day. Are we going straight through known paths, or are we charting through some of the other blank areas on the map? Just, you know, be completionist.
I say we just go straight there. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah, we can be completionists after we're not on a time.
like we can
Right.
like skim by these 2 tiles to hit them on our way up. Otherwise,
I was actually thinking, should we spend the extra couple of hours we would have wasted, or just spent getting part of the way to the south and stop at the grove and see if we can try our hand at getting some more healing fruit?
do we need the
'Cause
fruit?
I believe
Yes.
someone told us that it would be at least advisable to grab some.
Yeah, but he
It was
also
Stubby.
isn't advise. You know, Stubby doesn't have the village traditions to abide by. So we show up with all those fruits, we're 100% gonna get like.
Oh, we don't
Throw
show
in
up
jail.
and give them to the villagers if we don't want to. I'm just thinking, you know, grab a couple each, so they're basically healing potions. Like,
Sure, but
we
again,
can
like
use
we
them
we
when
still have
we
to
need them.
carry them with us. Like, are we gonna like eat them all before we get back to the village?
I mean, I have a backpack. Do you not? I have a chest. I have a
I
chest and a
mean,
backpack.
how do you know? Like, do they have like fragrance to them? Are they gonna like just sense the fruit in the bag? I mean, we don't.
I
know
believe they
necessarily.
glowed.
I mean, they
But
do glow.
besides that, like, we covered that they don't glow like a sun. They're not going to shine through your bag. So if you have it at the bottom of your bag or in your bag, it shouldn't be an issue. If you keep an orange in your bag, can you smell it?
I would think that we should
I mean, if we want to, if
Maybe-
you guys
maybe
want to
like
take them, sure. But I'm
one
not
or
taking the
2
fall with
each.
you.
like 1 or
Yeah,
2
like-
each. So like,
That's
you
what I'm
know,
meaning.
if
I'm not meaning take, like, you know, 3 weeks worth of rations worth of healing fruit. I'm talking like take 1 or 2 each, so we have some healing when we need it, so that the likes of Kaya and stuff aren't having to burn their spell slots healing.
like just an amount that if we needed to, we could definitely eat before we got back to the village.
Yeah. But if we don't want to risk the slimes and the detour, like I'm fine not going for them. I just thought it might be a good idea because we don't know what these bugs are going to be.
Shall we put it to a vote?
I'm indifferent, so I mean, if people want to go, then just go.
I would vote for fruit.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone against? All right.
I said I'm fine going.
I'll take
Let's
that
go
as a
get
no.
some fruit.
So we make it back here, and it's been, some time since we've been here, but our tokens are still here. Although things are probably not updated.
I tend to check them whenever I come in, though.
Yeah. I say probably, but, I mean definitely.
Yeah, definitely not. The BB's a bit more chunkier than that, and so am I.
So we arrive here at the Druid's Grove, and it looks much the way we remember it from last time. We do not see the mulch oozes, although we do know by now that that isn't necessarily indicative of them not being here.
Did Shafira come with us again?
I'm sorry?
Did Shafira come with us again?
Yes.
Okay.
Until I've been told differently, I am assuming she is coming along with you.
Sweet. Well, do keep an eye out for the slime things again. I had no doubt they would still be around, if not other things as well.
Yes, of course.
Is there any...
Pick up some fruit though, don't we?
If you guys
Yes.
get attacked by slimes, I'm not bailing you out this time. So
We are not in any kind of initiative, but obviously when we get to certain areas, like Sharfer just did, I'll tell you to go ahead and stop. So Sharfer, would you please make me a perception check?
I will make you a perception check. I don't know if I will succeed the perception check.
You will not.
I will not.
Nix, you can go ahead and make me one too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd specifically be keeping an eye out and stuff.
Yeah, you do not see the ooze that we've seen before, but you do notice something different. Up in the tree, up in the main tree, which is where we saw and pulled the one fruit from, there are significantly fewer fruits in the tree.
Well, it looks like possibly Stubby's already been here recently. Is there still a decent amount of fruit up there?
There's still a couple. Sort of giving it a quick once over, you probably see about 15 or 15 or so.
Oh, okay.
How many do you think we need? I'd
I
say
mean,
about 6 or 7, right?
at most, yes. I'll come up to the water's edge,
Mm-hmm.
and were you
gonna
planning on
attempt
going
to-
over yourself, Sharfa?
Yeah.
Sharfer
That's-
jumps into
yeah.
the water. And,
I was gonna
Um,
attempt to ford my way over.
I'll attach that, Anton.
okay.
That's hang on though, that's only 30 feet, so
Yeah.
you actually don't have that far.
If you stand here, I might.
Yeah, let me just stand in the water. I will just actually come over with him. What did you need a roll for? Do you need a roll?
No.
Do you need a?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're probably a bit better at the climbing and everything. If you want to jump up and, I don't know, throw them down to me or something.
Yeah, I do believe I'm pretty good at climbing.
Before he jumps up, though, I will give another good look around. Apparently, really good look around.
Yeah, you don't see any sign of these oozes.
Looks as clear as it could be, I suppose.
So what am I going to roll for trying to climb a tree?
And harvest fruit.
Athletics.
Athletic. Oof.
Would acrobatics not be better? Because it's the dex-based one?
Acrobatics would definitely be.
I believe climbing is specifically athletics.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because
Let's see if I can
based
climb
off
a
of,
tree.
like, mountain climbing and shit. Nope.
I cannot climb a tree.
You know, climbing is certainly harder than some people, make it out to be. And unfortunately, you're just not climbing this tree right now.
Can I give a deep sigh and try?
Yes, you can. And yes, you can. You managed to go up it, fairly nimbly. It's not a difficult tree to climb. Sharfer was just not doing well.
You must have been a bit too short to reach the branches. And
yeah, it must have been.
yeah, I don't know what kind of rolling you'd want for the fruit, but I'd probably pop down anywhere up to 6 or 8 if you want a roll.
Well, how
or
many?
Anything like that. We'll go for 8 for the safe side.
Okay. No, I'm not going to make you go ahead and roll for it. But, you spend a little bit of time in the tree moving around from place to place, and you do manage to pull about 8 or so, or 8, of the fruits down. Give me a perception check while you're up there. So you notice that you can see areas where there were fruits and where fruit has been plucked from, and you can see from those areas, that small and tiny fruit, but obviously the same fruit, are starting to fruit again. The tree looks like it's bearing fruit in those exact same places again, or at least beginning to, in the very beginning stages of it.
Apparently, they grow very quickly as well, or at least reasonably quick. And
That's
I'll
good.
back down. I'll just chuck them in my backpack for now, but I would be transferring them to Chester once I got to him. And because it's the equivalent of checking for traps in a dungeon before I cross the stupid water.
No, there was no sight of this Malchus that we had seen before.
Well, that was rather easy at least. And I'd show the rest of the party the fruit, ask if anyone wanted to carry them on them, and
Nope,
then
I'll pass.
chuck the rest into Chester.
I'll grab 2 off you.
Yep. Did Kaya and Exori want any?
Lizard.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I have 6 in Chester. Just tell me if you need them. or you're getting flashbanged.
I could really use a fruit right now. I'm at 1 HP. Let me open up Chester.
Well, it doesn't do damage.
No, I'm running for my life and I need this fruit. Let me open up Chester.
Flashbang.
Flashback.
Can I get a random weather roll, please? A 6 and an 8. Okay. It's not exceedingly windy, and the sky is clear, so it does not affect us too much for today. We do make it back to the rest of the Captain Tacklin. And we are here back.
Hey, ugly one, how's it going? And say as I walk by.
He's ugly one here this time.
Yes. He, she.
Maybe
or
we can recruit.
it
Maybe
is.
we can recruit the ugly one.
I would give it a smile.
We need
in a
the
wave
ugly
as
one
I
of the
walk
team.
Past.
It sort of
would-
nods to you and he says, "Good day to you."
How are you enjoying the island? I guess.
Well, it's an island. I mean, it's here.
I mean, I just ask because if I'm honest, I haven't exactly met many, if any, of your kind besides you. So I don't know if you enjoy. Being
No, I
here
would
or
think
not.
not. I'm equally happy to be on the sea, or I am to be on land.
Well, that makes it
Sounds like
easier for you, I
awesome.
guess.
I suppose. I do have to take a dip every so often to keep moist.
Oh, so you are from the ocean then?
In the most technical sense, yes.
Ah,
Are you related to crocodiles somehow?
Oh boy.
No, I'm not related to crocodiles.
they've got tentacles and like lots of mouths. How do you think that's related to a crocodile?
You know, they don't mind being on land or in water, but they have to go in water every now and again.
Crocodiles don't need to go in water though.
Oh, am I thinking of alligators?
I mean, neither do alligators. They just hunt in the water and all that, but they don't need the water.
Meanwhile, he's just standing there as we've gotten off on our own tangent.
Sort of a common misconception. What with the crocodile and alligator thing.
Which way their teeth point? Do you know the difference?
Well, you're well versed at
I
least.
believe one has a narrower snout too.
An alligator
Wanna
bites you in
roll
an
a,
A shape, and the crocodile bites you
A
in a C
nature
shape.
for my alligator knowledge.
Would Ticklin have come to meet us on the beach?
Yes.
Like,
How much alligator related facts do I know with 13?
You know they're reptiles. You do
That
think
one
they
fact.
live in the water? No, I'm kidding.
Here's the quick one. They can grow up to like 14 or 15 feet long.
They get pretty big.
They come from eggs. They're like birds, basically.
They're basically just birds. 95% identical.
I mean, hey, a penguin's a bird. Why can't a crocodile be? That neither of them fly.
And they both like water. Oh my god.
Yeah.
95%.
They both come from eggs.
Some like salt water, some like clean water.
Neither can fly.
But, did someone else want to talk to Ticklin, or was I doing it?
I'm not the greatest talker. I usually put my foot in my mouth with this crew. But maybe
Oh,
you should
then-
mention that Stubby's alive.
Yeah, I will greet Ticklin. And... Hi, Captain. We ran
Thought you
into...
should have been on the way over here.
What's that?
Yes,
Stubby say
actually,
that
you're
you
right.
can-
That is one of the things that Stubby was doing. He wasn't coming immediately over here, though. He was going
Fair.
back to the tribe to try to, convince them about the...
Fair.
And he's not here at the moment, so we don't know yet. And yeah, well, we ran into someone else that we all know.
Oh, yeah? More survivors then from the ship?
Yeah, Stubby.
Stubby! Oh, I thought it was a little odd.
remember
He's certainly not one I expect to, drown, certainly, now that I put my mind to it. I don't know if he can.
I wouldn't imagine so, considering, the whole Sahagwin and everything. But I mean, he's with a tribe of them off the shore somewhere. Currently, he met up with them after the shipwreck.
Really?
He said he'll be stopping. We told him you guys were here, and he said he'd be stopping in at some point. He's just got to go talk to his tribe about something else happening with the tribe of the people that we've got on the other side of the island, because they don't like each other.
I see. So, I take it you've been busy.
Reasonably, yes. I think apparently we may be part of the tribe now as well in some respects. We went and talked to some kind of rock or fire elemental, and then fought some other fire elementals, and then the tribe's been a bit nicer to us since then and kind of welcomed us in, and we're allowed our weapons again. They apparently would prefer if you guys were like a bit closer on that side, just because of the whole temple and everything to the south from here.
I see. Now, is this they would like us a bit closer so they could sort of surround us when we're not paying attention?
We
I
don't
would
know.
hope not, but I at the same time wouldn't hope you guys were treating this as a lap of luxury holiday. We are still stranded, and I mean, as nice as they're being, they are still quite a primitive tribe.
Indeed.
They don't even know about irrigation.
Well, I suppose I did mention that it would be a good idea to foster some better relationships with them.
And the Sahagwin, they might confuse you or something as well, but we do have somewhat of a truce forming because, like I said, the tribe of Sahagwin and the tribe of humans don't really like each other, but we're trying to kind of do stuff so that everyone will at least abide by each other and live, if not with each other, next to each other somewhat.
Sure,
And
well,
help us kill the big turtle thing.
that all makes sense. Sahagwin eat people.
Well, everyone keeps saying that, but we saw them foraging for food.
Well, they don't eat exclusively people.
Stubby didn't eat people.
Stubby most
Yeah.
certainly has eaten people, however.
I've never seen Stubby eat anyone in my entire life.
Well, these were
Meanwhile,
sort of different days back then, but...
Captain Techlin's like having all these Vietnam flashbacks to Stubby in the first days of him on her ship. But yeah, so I mean, just stay wary with anyone not from the crew, I guess. But like, things are happening between and I'll put, finger quotation marks, sentient people on the island.
Right. Well, don't worry. We were probably going to be pretty wary of the others anyway. But either way, I suppose we should sort of head over there and at least make an attempt to be good neighbors. Is there anything we should know before we head over there?
Don't don't worry about pressing it too much, I suppose.
I
Like,
don't think it's a good idea to move them. I don't know if we've really talked about it much, but I think that having the people nearby is still pretty bad.
Well,
I mean,
It's like-
I do see where it
There
can
is
come from. I'm just doing the thing that we've been asked to do.
yes,
Like,
Sure,
we
but
haven't
I
been
certainly
told
see your
to
point,
make
but what
sure
happens
that
when
do
we refuse them?
But I mean, at the same time, we've also explicitly ignored every other request to try, like, don't go to the temple, don't go to the fruits, all that stuff. So
I see.
there is one thing that you might need to know: the fact of they're not that fond of the
eating of the birds.
undead.
No, we had told Teclin that. We had made it very abundantly clear that Teclin herself cannot deal with them directly.
Right. I mean, either way, what it sounds
I
like
would-
is that I'll be staying here, and chances are Jonathan will be going forward in my stead. And then she shouts for Jonathan.
Do you trust Jonathan to make those decisions for you? I believe it's
What
the
a
best option.
Silly question.
He's the first mate.
Yeah.
He's the one person on her crew he can trust. Or at least you'd hope so. She can trust.
Mutiny time.
Although I know you can handle yourself, Teclin, but I'm not comfortable with you being here by yourself.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can tell you is that I'm not necessarily worried for myself or my safety. I have my
I couldn't
musket,
die.
I have my shot, and, you know, worst comes to worst, I can simply walk into the ocean.
I
Can
suppose
Teclin
that
actually
is the point.
die as an undead?
Yeah.
I mean, she can be killed, but she can't, like, drown and stuff like that. Does she not have a melee weapon?
She does.
I'm
She
sure
has a
some
long
melee
sword.
weapon.
Okay. I was gonna say I'll give her my axe if she really needs a melee weapon. Not like I can really use it.
Give it a sharper when he doesn't have any weapons, like always.
Pew, pew, pew.
Well, I guess he's got the feathered sword now.
Well,
That's the real cool weapon now.
as long as everyone's safe and careful, even if things are as good and as diplomatic as they might get, doesn't mean anyone should get complacent either. But we've still got to go apparently clear some island of bugs, and then the Sahagwin should be on board with helping us kill the turtle crab god.
Oh, what about the giant crystal thing?
Interesting.
That was the thing the Hogbins want us to do.
And
They
the
wanted
crystal
us-
thing was just for the fire elemental. The fire elemental
Yeah.
wanted us to free him.
Okay.
And I would also bring that up to Teclin as well. And the fire elemental is also kind of chill, I guess. He's
She wouldn't
just
have
wants to
heard
be
nothing
free
about
as
the
well.
fire elemental. I mean,
We brought it
yeah,
up already.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
bringing it up, because I was only just talking to her about it right now. A recap of what we've been doing.
I
We
So,
did say we fought the
see.
fire element and all that, but
Yeah, but didn't go into depth over it all.
sure.
So if we find some way to free or help the fire elemental be able to travel, I mean, that's a strong ally. Depending on your moral code, I had some idea of how it might work.
Just shoving him in the bowl.
well, you know, practicality before some other things, but you know, that's not to say we don't. There's certainly a limit and a reason for things.
I'm just saying, steam power and engine that screams.
Screaming engine.
Well, I'm not necessarily one for slavery myself.
No, I didn't think so. So we'll probably
I
have
don't
to.
think it's slavery. I think it's more like indentured servitude, if anything.
No, it's trapping and torturing. That's what you're doing. Well, I guess in that case, we would just have to try and find another way to help it, if at all possible.
So, you're now going to fight some sort of bugs on the behalf of the Sahagwin.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they will help us kill the god, and it also gives them somewhere to live, because the bugs are on some island that the Sahagwin consider like sacred ground or something like that. They want it back for themselves, and they want to go live there, which gets them out of the tribals here, which keeps everyone nice and happy. If they decide to keep fighting after that, I mean, we're already building our ship and on our way out by that point, once we've killed the god.
Right. So, how are you looking for things in, like, powder and such?
I
I
mean,
mean,
myself
I could use like a
personally,
couple just to top off, but otherwise I'm pretty good.
We'll
yeah,
we'll let you pull
much
from
the
our
same.
stores and top off.
I take 3 of
Yay.
each.
I've got 3 handfuls of pellets, 6 of bullets, and 3 and 6 powders as well to re-get. And I would separately from the party.
She would also give
Go
you
to
2
dog.
rations each.
Oh,
You
so
know,
generous.
it's just
Even me?
even you. I mean, part of the thing is that you get fed, so when they're able to feed you, you get fed.
I would go to Dodrick and be
Actually,
like,
it brings up an interesting question. Are we still contracted to them?
Technically, you are
contract-
still contracted to them. They're not being jerks about it, of course. It hasn't even been brought up as far as I'm concerned, but technically, you're still contracted by them until you make it to the island. Things that would change that are we can no longer go to the island.
Well, I mean,
So
we can no longer
shipwreck.
go to the
Well,
island.
I mean, you could still technically go there, but, you know.
Well, I mean, under that logic, they could just make not go to the island and not always just be like, well, we could technically go to the island at any point, but you're not, so you're
It's-
forever stuck with the contract.
let's face it, we've broken our contract because we haven't swabbed a deck in about 2-3 weeks. They've broken their contract because they haven't fed us now and then.
Yeah,
and
where's
they
our
still
food?
do now and then.
Yeah, the contract is officially void at this point.
I think it's more no one's really concerned about it at the moment.
It's on
But,
a pause at the moment.
Right.
I would go to Dodrick at some point, and I would ask him throughout his scavenging over the past few days in the cruise scavenging, had they found any materials I could use, and I would ask him if I could trade some special fruit for materials.
Well, what's this fruit do?
Makes you feel really good. We've been told it's, I mean, for all intents and purposes, healing magic in a fruit.
So when you say really good, do you mean
Really?
really good or
I mean, I don't want to exactly slash my arm open to show you, but I could hurt
right,
myself
right.
and
Well, the
then-
description's enough, lad. Lass.
Yes.
Lass. But you know, how does it work? Does it work in units for you? I always forget.
I'm basically just doing it a unit of repair materials for an HP worth of.
So one unit being 1 HP. Okay. They've managed to scavenge up about 10 units or so.
Sweet. I'd be happy to give them 2 food for that.
And they'd be happy to take it.
Sweet. And yeah, that's just basically little fasteners, little pieces of metal, pieces of already cut wood and stuff like that. Enough to just patchwork BB and keep him moving. And then I would be ready to go when the party was.
So would you be, as a party, more or less ready to go, or?
Yeah, I don't believe I need anything else.
So as you're sort of turning to leave, the ugly one is going to approach you.
You'll have to join us.
Hey, just a moment.
Welcome aboard.
Well, no, I don't believe it serves my best interest in this time to join you.
What would you like?
What? No, well, no, nothing like that. I don't need anything. It's just that... Well, there's 2 things, The first one... I don't want to sound exactly the way this is going to sound, because I know the way it's going to sound, right? But it would certainly behoove myself, the lady, and indirectly you all, if we could get off this island as sort of quickly as possible. It's not necessarily a matter of me getting off the island, mind you. It's a matter of the lady getting off the island.
The lady being Teclin?
No.
No, the lady being the pretty lady up here.
That we've
The one
that we've
that's called
seen
the
before.
lady.
Yes.
Yeah, the one whose explicit name is the lady.
Interesting.
I mean, in regards of that, we are doing the best we can. We're brokering peace between 2 tribes to align them and alliance them to take down what is seen as a god, and that is what we need to do before we can launch any ship off the island.
Right. I understand, there's complications and delays and all sorts of these things and whatnot. But again, I'm just sort of putting what's been unspoken in sort of in the ether, just making it sort of a concrete and known fact.
Oh, trust us, we have no intentions of seeing out the rest of our days on this island, and I personally am kind of getting sick of sand.
That's fantastic. I've been slightly worried because, well, some of the other crew members sort of are looking at this as almost a paradise island. I don't quite agree with it myself, but,
I think those particular crew members need to see a bit more of the island, because there's some things that aren't exactly paradise here.
Well, yes, I mean, these giant frogs and the bugs aside, which sort of brings me to my next point. You mentioned you're fighting these bugs, right?
Yes, we should with hope be able to be getting rid of at least most of them. We don't honestly know exactly what we're in for yet.
Right. Well, but just... I've seen these things. They've come out at night sometimes, and they're large. Like, not like me large, but, comparable to, like, you large. So just, be cautious.
You got it, and thanks for the warning, because, yeah, we haven't actually somehow experienced them yet.
They look a lot like, well, your ordinary mosquitoes, but again, any sort of, she sort of points her fingers at you.
Well, in that case, yeah, we will have to be a little bit more careful. Assuming that's not massive, swarms of human-sized insects, we should be able to manage it at least somewhat.
Well, I should hope not. Well, I should hope so, I suppose.
I was gonna say, is he really just cursing us right now?
She should hope there's not massive swarms
Cool.
of human-sized ones.
Well, we've got a couple of days of light, couple of hours of light left, and we're gonna start heading to go meet Stumpy. So, thank you for the warning about the bugs, and we really are doing our best to get everyone moving off the island as soon as possible.
Oh, sure, I wish I could help you, but there are currently forces at work which prevent me from doing so. As I mentioned before, it's sort of not in our best interests at the moment. Should that sort of change, well, maybe we could work something out, but until that point in time, my hands are somewhat tied.
That's fine. Just, I guess, make sure your job is done.
Well, you
Whether
don't
it's
really
protecting
have
the
to
lady
worry
or
about that, but
anything
thanks.
else. I'm starting to get the feeling you don't have much choice in that matter, but all the same, well wishes and what have you.
Of course, and good luck to you.
Give a little curtsy and then walk away.
She does not return the curtsy, but she nods at you. And then waves to the group and then turns.
I would wave back.
All right. We can go about 9 more squares, I believe, without it being dark. So 9 more miles, which
Do we just-
nearly
do we
pushes
just-
us right there.
Yeah.
Do we just want to sleep?
Because
The
he said
camp
it would
in
be
that
about. He said he'd be there about midday anyway, didn't he? So the last couple of hours will basically turn up when he does.
Yeah, we might as well just like sleep here, right?
Sleep here or sleep there?
Sleep.
No,
well,
I reckon make it the extra space today.
but if he's not gonna be till midday, it's gonna take about half day travel. So if we just leave in the morning, then we would just be there when he gets there.
I mean, if we are going to leave now and he's getting there about midday, we should probably, like, get there that way.
I mean, do we want to get like possibly ambushed at night? If we want to, then sure, let's sleep outside. But I mean, otherwise, it would just be safer to sleep here, obviously.
You guys, I don't mind either way. I was just thinking efficiency and everything. Because the tribe said they would be delivering them there for us, right? The wave striders.
Strong feelings from anybody else?
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't mind. Either one's fine. Like, if everyone else wants to go, then yeah, I'm fine sleeping outside.
I mean, I honestly don't mind. It's just if we will leave a girl, I wanted to do the get more map.
Well, somebody's got to make a decision.
Let's make the travel camp under the stars and hope for a fight.
Sure. All right.
So we
right.
don't have 2 RP sessions.
Yeah,
Use
that way
the sword.
we're also we could be closer just in case something does happen along the way. We could be closer.
The fight's the bugs, so I mean, the bugs are definitely gonna be there to fight.
Yeah, but this way, if
Obviously,
something that happens today, that way we can rest up before
Sure,
we do have to fight the bug.
There's like a bunch of bandits. Just wait for
There's
us to
a bunch
walk
of
out.
bandits.
Not even tribespeople. Like
Yarg,
outcasts or
maybe.
anything.
Yeah.
Just random highwaymen straight out of Faerun.
Bandit crabs.
I'll be right back in a second. I'm going to go grab another drink. It's just a pop, though, so it's just a matter of walking to the kitchen. But I'll be back in a second. Whoops, not. All right. Did everybody else leave, or are we still here?
Yeah. Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Good.
Ah, we're fighting a 10 and a 13.
Well, one was a mistake. No, we're actually not fighting anything tonight. Yeah, nothing. So the next day, I presume we, continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue on.
I guess I will move the token. And we find ourselves back at the cave, which is as we've left it.
Oh my god, look at beta version of Chester.
Exactly.
Still crabs all over the beach.
Oh, it's Vario. We found him after all these years.
So now that we are here, I am going to erase all these little crabs.
Is this crab what you were laughing at, Grim?
Yes. And everybody else can pull their tokens on too.
I am already on the board.
Yeah. Funnily enough, you joked, but we do see Variel there on the beach.
Is he gonna jump back in the call and be like, hello?
At the cave. No, unfortunately not.
Aw. Like his great reveal would have been amazing. We're cried. Tears of joy, mind you. I had caught up to him. You're like, Mario, is it you? Or...
Yes. Hello. It's me. I certainly expected you sooner than this.
Expected us?
Well, I would have figured that if someone gets lost, we would have headed back to the safest place we knew of.
We were on the other side of the island, though.
Well, yes, but something happened, and I sort of... Well, I found myself here. I really can't describe how it happened. I was just sleeping, and then the one moment I woke up, I was somewhere else, so I followed the beach along back to here.
Interesting. Why not head back to the town?
Well, I thought it was just me by myself, and I had seen all these frogs before that I didn't think it was quite safe enough for me to venture out alone.
How long has it been since we separated?
Or had to have been at least a week, I believe.
I'm asking Variel.
Well, it's been quite some time. If I had to put a date to it, I would have said it's been at least a month.
It has not been a month.
You
You've been waiting here a month?
Well, yes. I've certainly made quite the thing of it. You should see the cave. I've quite turned it into a cozy little home.
Has Stubby shown up? What about the... Did you run into the tribals when they dropped our wave striders?
Well, yes and no. I saw them, but I thought it would, discretion the better part of valor, of course. I thought it would be best if I just hid on top of the hill. They didn't venture into the cave at all, you see.
Why would you hide from the villagers? We talked to them before. They were friendly.
Well, they were mostly friendly, but I certainly don't forget the words of Cass. And when I see 5 or so villagers coming up on the wave striders, well, I didn't want to ask too many questions or assume. And after all, I hadn't seen you in quite some time. I'm afraid I had feared for the worst, honestly.
Oh, I ain't got anything else to rebuttal this man with. I mean, would you like to join us again, Vario? Hit the road for old time's sake?
Well, No, not
You-
particularly.
Here now?
If it has to be spoken, this place is something. There's a powerful connection to nature still here.
We see the cave. I just want to see the cave.
The cave hasn't actually been changed.
Oh my god! I insist that he takes us into the cave.
Okay, if you
You've done
insist,
so
he
much,
takes you into
Muriel.
the cave.
He said it was beautiful. It was like he'd done so much.
It
to
looks
it.
literally
I
the
was
same.
to show, see all the wonderful changes this man has made.
If you just spent a month,
If you pull your
Lounging
tokens
on the
on, you'll
beach.
be able to see as well. For Zori and Kai, it doesn't really matter where.
Oh yeah. Oh. Wow, Vile, it sure looks like nothing's changed. You didn't even plant these shitty mushrooms.
Oh well, no. These mushrooms are quite amazing. Like each individual one. I mean, it's quite something unique indeed.
Yeah, they tried to kill us, remember?
Well, only the two tried to kill you. These other ones are of a different species, it appears. Of a non-man-eating variety.
I'm gonna, like, whisper, not just to Vile, but I think to Nyx that I think Varial's lost his mind.
I think something's going on for sure.
Maybe we should
Let's
take
see
him
if we
back.
can out-whisper the actual druid.
Yeah, I will.
Hold on, I
make
gotta
a
find.
performance for it. The one time I roll low on performance.
What would you deception? I'll roll deception, I guess.
Well, first of all, he's gonna roll perception to see if he can,
He's good, so he can see us talking. Like,
well, if he can hear
like,
you talking.
I mean,
Oh yeah. We look up and he's standing in between us, looking at us like I am right here.
This is a very small cave. You do understand, and
I'll look at him and be like, "This is a private conversation."
in my home,
this is a cave.
In a cave.
the cave where I've been living for the past month.
It doesn't even
Not
give
cave.
up.
Are you insinuating that I should leave?
Not by any means.
I mean, then you can go to the other side of the cave.
As can you. You're literally standing within 10 feet of me, attempting to talk about me, it appears, behind my back, which I thought we had something more than that.
What
We'd
have you
rather
been
move on
eating for
to
the
have a
past
whispered
month?
conversation.
Do you
But
want some
no.
real food?
Sorry, what was that?
What have you been eating for the past month? Do you want some real food?
Well, I mean, I've been eating mostly seafood, crabs, of course, we had seen them, mushrooms,
Good
He's
berry.
been eating. Oh no, he's been eating good berries.
good berries, yes, of course, that makes up the bulk nutrition point of my meal, but I've been doing some small hunting and trapping and things of this nature. There's all sorts of rather small creatures, insects, of course, grubs, the like.
Right. Does this work? No.
So the two of you are rather new faces. Have you been traveling with my companions?
Yes, for the most part. Been doing my best to make sure that everyone stays in tip-top health.
I vaguely believe I remember seeing you on the ship. That's right, right?
Yes, I was the acting doctor for the ship.
Yes, I do remember.
We don't remember. We never got the doctor.
Well,
we were You'll die and we didn't get to see the doctor.
Yes, so been treating you well, have they?
Yes.
Good, good.
It's been an interesting trip.
Indeed, that certainly seems to sum up the trip, certainly. So, what happens next with you all?
Well, we're waiting for another friend to show up, and we have somewhat of a mission to accomplish.
Oh, a mission?
Yeah. We've got to go take the boats and go out on the ocean for a bit.
I see. Would you care to elaborate, or?
Have you seen, you know the frogs?
Yes.
We're going to deal with some of them.
All right, you know what that means. That's a deception roll.
Why is that deception?
Because we're going to deal with bugs. I am specifically not telling them what our purpose is. Ah! Are you... Ah!
Oh,
Give here if I
Well, Nix, it's been a little while, but I know that tone of voice from you. What are you really doing?
It hasn't been that long, and I'm watching what I'm doing.
Arnold would taken you to the doctor. Let's already heal this man.
Yeah, just out of character, I'm starting to think that did we ever actually deal with the doppelganger's body? Did we ever make sure that thing was fucking dead? Did we make sure it was the only one?
Doppel. It's double doppel.
I mean, you're certainly
That's a
pretty
performance
sure you killed it, you know. I mean, it wasn't you that hit the last blow, but...
Well, what are the defining characteristics of a doppel?
Well, I mean, like,
Well,
on
they have,
death,
like,
they
fake blood or
revert
something
back
like that?
to, you know, a doppelganger.
Don't they have like fake blood or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, no, nothing convenient like that, to be very honest
but
with
I
you.
mean, as a changeling, it's a trick I would use if I was, you know, wanting to feign my death or my unconsciousness. I would drop my shroud at that point to make it look like I'd been knocked unconscious or killed.
We didn't. We never saw what happened to the body type.
That's what I'm saying. We never saw what exactly happened to that doppelganger's body after we, quote unquote, killed it. That's just why Nyx is. This is why it's out of character. This is why Nyx is kind of like, you know, being wary and everything like that. Because yeah, it has definitely not been a month that we've been on this island.
Yeah.
And like Burial wasn't a stupid person. He wouldn't have lost that much track of time.
Of course, but you yourself have also experienced some timey-wimey BS.
This is true.
I think this guy's a doppelganger. With the question, only the real heart.
Well, you got to be
Yeah,
careful with
something.
that, because it doesn't necessarily mean that I, the DM, know.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's all the
That's why I'm
proof.
thinking. That's why I'm thinking an event that happened between the shipwreck and us losing Varial.
What?
Would need to ask a question about that time period, because unless the doppelganger had been following us that entire time, like I'm thinking, if it was a doppelganger, it would have stumbled upon us sleeping and been like, "Oh well, I remember this guy. I'll take this guy."
Like, so it's gonna happen in the last like 5 hours, or
How do you say frog in the native tongue?
Nashte.
Well,
The
that's-
native tongue is mostly druidic. Ancient, of course, but druidic nonetheless. I take it you found a way to talk with the villagers and without me?
Well, for a little while, we were kind of doing a pantomime kind of performance checking with them and everything. Like, and yes, she would say it like that.
Yes.
I would kind of like act out our conversations with me and BB and everything like that, and then they would kind of pantomime back. And then I think it was Ixori. Did you learn how to understand them somehow?
No, Kaya did,
Kaya.
but
Kaya.
Kaya is actually out of the cave.
Oh, you're not there.
No.
Oh well, the one. Well, no, I would have left it for Ixori to say that Kaya was the one.
I can imagine how trying that must have been. I'm sorry I wasn't there with you. But again, it only made sense to me not to come back to the tribe. I figured something must have happened. What with Kess all but saying she wants us dead.
I don't think that does make
no.
much
Or
sense.
implying so.
We've actually been, I guess, kind of welcomed into the tribe, and I mean, we've kind of, as we said, we're working with Stubby to try and broker some kind of peace between them.
Oh, I don't think you had mentioned that, but I see.
Oh, not about the peace, but Stubby coming. That's part of the whole thing.
Ah, you had said a friend. I see. I didn't realize it was Stubby from the ship. Oh, well, good.
Well, what are your plans then? I mean, we personally are working at getting off this island. We're trying to kill the big god turtle crab thing that shipwrecked us, and yeah, the captain and the rest of the surviving crew are all currently on the west side of the island.
Oh!
Slowly working at getting a ship together.
The captain and crew survived.
Oh yes, quite a few of them actually.
Well, that is good news.
The real captain, that is, not the other one that we saw too.
The changeling. Not the changeling.
Yes, it wasn't a changeling, it was something else.
Well, it's still a changeling.
That's what.
Kind of bristles a little bit at that.
Well, it's definitely
It does
racist.
change.
I think he is
Not
he
a
doesn't want to use the B
changeling with a
word.
capital C, but a lowercase one.
I think he's a doppelganger.
I don't think the case of the seed matters that much.
Vario wouldn't have said the C word around there. Dropping the C, Bob.
Well, I
Something's
suppose I should head towards the village and then meet up with the captain.
Village is to the east, captain's to the west, although the captain might be.
Well, you did just
Around.
mention that they were coming over.
The villagers were coming over with the boats for us.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
my bad. I thought you implied that.
Okay, because I was just starting to think that it was something psychic because
No.
I had not mentioned that the crew was moving over to the tribes yet. So I was like, oh, is it letting it slip?
No.
It's what it's the. I think
It's
it
a
is. I think
doppelganger that can
Yeah.
read minds.
It's the mind reading doppelganger.
Oh. You Term of Annihilation guys are gonna hate me.
Another third ganger.
Yeah.
Oh,
But, Yes, well, I'm sure people would be happy to see you. If you don't wish to come with us, then that's probably the safest bet for you, and you can get out of this cave.
Well, do you need me? I suppose I certainly could come with you.
Out of character.
Will there be enough boats?
Yes, I did notice that there was an extra boat out there.
Well, you're also forgetting
Assume one was for Stubby. then.
Shafira.
Ah, yes, Shafira. No, yes, so no, there won't be enough boats.
I think
Although
he's a doppelganger. We should just
it's a
take him out like-
druid. If it's not a doppelganger, then it is a druid that can turn into a hamster and sit on someone's shoulder. So if he wants to come, he can. Could be a good final test to see if
He
it is
turns into a
variable.
bear.
Is in
actually.
fact a level 2. He has not leveled.
That's fine. He can still turn into creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he did usually go bear for his combat form and everything, but a bear can't fit, or another bear can't fit on the things. He can still turn into a hamster or something. I mean, it's completely up to you, honestly. You'd have to probably turn into, some small creature to ride on someone's shoulder because there's not enough boats for an extra person, but I personally have no qualms.
Well, again, I'm willing to if you need me. If you don't need me, then I'll go to the village.
What's the party say?
I think he's a doppelganger.
I mean, this is a good final test to find out if he is, so we can say, sure, come with us as that final test, and if he can't turn into a small critter, then he's not burial.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah.
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 All right. Yeah. I'll offer him to come with us.
Oh, yes, and quite
Sure.
honestly, and if I'm quite honest, I'm sorry for not believing you are who you are at first, but you've been gone a little while, and it's a bit confusing that you would have just stayed in one spot for the entire time. But in saying that, we're not actually going to deal with rocks. We're going to deal with some big bug things, and all the help we could get would be appreciated.
I see. Well, then, yes, I can help you with that.
Great. Then we just wait for Stubby to show up, and he's gonna lead us to this island where the bugs are, and then we'll ride the wave striders over.
Ride the waves.
Who was the best? I mean, I struggle with me and BB on the craft at the same time. I can't worry about having Burial on my shoulder as well.
Well, I mean, I can
Um,
simply turn
probably-
into some sort of small simian and hold on myself.
Probably have a Zori. Or not Zori. Kai. Since if Kaya falls in the water, she can just swim.
Yeah. So yeah, Exori, Shafa, or Tythron would be the best ones. I think Tythron.
Well, no, I was saying Kaya because for that exact reason, because Kaya can't drown.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like they shouldn't be making too much of a big impact or anything, but like,
Yeah.
who was the best at piloting the crafts?
I mean, Grim always makes you roll dexterity, so technically.
Yeah.
I mean, these ones are dexterity.
Dexterity, I think it should be athletic.
I'm decent at.
I think Shafa should take it.
I think climbing trees should be dexterity.
Exactly. Why is it that?
Because it's strength. It's
dexterity-
literally you pulling yourself up.
Then what? Then what is a boat? I have to pull the boat. It's not like I gotta do a backflip.
Well, what? Naruto running
Yeah,
up the tree?
I really don't mind taking the extra. I mean, I'm pretty bad at piloting birds, but let's see what I can do.
Okay.
And then yeah, I guess we would sit on the beach and wait for Stubbs.
So we go back onto the beach, and we wait for Stubby. So if we check out these wave striders, there is sort of wrapped up. They're sort of anchored down to some of the rocks on the beach. We would have to wade out to them, and then a heavy rock and rope wedged in between, whatever. That there is something else there, sort of wrapped up on each of the individual boats themselves. There's another different looking strange fruit.
Does it come string included?
Yes.
I like it. I take the string.
They tie it on.
It's how it was tied to something.
I would hope these are gifts from the villagers. Did you see the villagers tie these on, Vera?
Well, they left whatever it was on them. I figured there was a reason or something was up with them, so I didn't really investigate it.
Or Varial put them here himself and he's trying to poison us.
Wait,
And you laugh,
who
but-
else knows magic that would know the tribal word for frog? Who's the only other person on this island who doesn't like us? Who knew that the boats would be here?
Yes.
Yes.
The other druid of the island.
Kess is not a druid.
Well, I'm a druid as well.
Wasn't you?
No.
Oh, we have so many druids on the island now.
Drook is the druid.
Oh, Druikas.
Rukin.
I will pack the strange fruit into my backpack.
Sure, I'll
For the
take my
record,
shit.
Kess is a sorcerer. Or sorceress.
Ah, okay.
Breathe water is an arcane spell. And so you would know
No,
that
but I think
connection.
druids do get
Do
it.
they?
So,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
I would hope so, considering druids can turn into water at some point.
They get roundabout ways.
But
It does make sense that it's a spell for both, honestly. With as much as
Yes.
you need it. Possibly need it. After a while, Stubby comes up to the shore and swimming.
Good to see you.
Hey!
hey, Steph.
You guys are here on time? That's good.
Yeah, and apparently Varial's still here as well.
Oh, well, that's good. I don't think we would have told. We was told that
That might
Varial
be
went
missing,
missing
yeah.
or anything, so he
Yeah.
wouldn't think anything of it. Oh yeah, I didn't really see him with the others. I apparently stopped by right after you guys did.
Ah, fair enough. Well, should we... I guess it's not exactly a short journey. Should we get started?
Sure, yeah, we'll be coming in. So, look, how are you guys on these things?
Good
we've
enough.
been-
I
we've
like to
warned
think I'm
that-
pretty good.
Oh, the wave
Yeah.
struggles. I thought you were talking about the bugs. I struggle with them, quite honestly.
I'm not
But
the best,
can-
but I manage.
I can clamber back onto it if I fall off.
Okay, so do
It's
you
just-
guys trust me?
You
Trust
yeah.
you above everyone else here, Stubby.
Well, that's really sweet of you. Thank you.
It's gonna make it so much more delicious when I betray you.
No.
All right, well, I'll call some friends and they'll sort of help us out. But don't panic. They're sharks, but I can control them, right?
As long as you can control them, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, look, sharks get a bad rap anyway. I mean, there has they don't eat people. There's never been a case of a shark eating a person. You've never seen it, right?
More people have
I've
been
never seen a
coconuts
shark
than
eat a
sharks.
person. I mean, he's
saying-
got some pretty solid logic there.
We trust Stubby enough. We ain't even gonna insight.
I'm not inside that. I trust this man. Open.
If it was another Sahagwin, I would incite it. But because it's Stubby,
Stubby wouldn't lie to me. But yes, he sort of whistles or cups his hands and does this whistling sound. And one wouldn't think that would be good for calling, an underwater creature. But sure enough, a few sharks sort of appear. So if something happens and you wind up falling off, the wave striders, just don't panic, stay above, and these things will come. You can grab onto them and sort of help prop yourselves up with them. You'll probably get a little cut up because they got like real rough skin and stuff, but you won't drown.
so they're like cooler dolphins.
I always thought sharks were smooth like olives.
Well, Star, I don't think. What were they called again? Razor reef sharks or something?
Oh well, no, these are just black-tipped reef sharks.
Oh, yeah, that one. That word.
Because they got the black tip fins and they live in the reef.
That's it exactly. Bless you.
Well,
Shit.
Thank you.
I guess I don't actually have a
we-
handout for them because they're like
I like
an
it.
actual
I like the
animal.
handout.
So.
Want me to look at some black tip reef sharks facts for us? I got it. Black tip.
they look
reef
so
shark.
derpy.
Well, I mean, that's obviously a sort of rendition, but... Alright, so now is the time, and the time is now. Let us get...
Black tip reef shark has extremely small home ranges and exhibits strong sight fidelity, remaining within the same location for up to several years at a time.
Yeah, so like these are the black-tipped reef sharks that live here. And they know the waters very well. So, before we start, I want a weather check, please. What do we get? What do we get?
I click it?
We
No,
did.
it doesn't seem to be
We
working.
clicked it a bunch of
Yep.
times.
Oh, I was scrolled up in chat. I see. Just the first one. I guess.
All right, it is windy, doubly so windy. Going in direction 2. Okay, so let us get our watercraft dexterity proficiency.
I want mine to be athletics. I think that he requires more strength than nimbleness to pilot a wave skimmer in the ocean.
Nope. Ignore that.
Artesian
Unfortunately.
tools.
There we go.
See, I'm really good with these things.
So yes, Variel does shapeshift into a small monkey and sort of clambers onto the wave strider and holds on as well. He says, I can really only do this for 10 minutes or so. How far along is this? Before he does, however.
I don't know, how long was it? Like 30, 40 miles?
40
out?
miles? 40, I believe?
Yes.
10 minutes. That's a really short time.
So we're gonna be fine, right?
I don't think it'll take 10 minutes to travel that far.
Oh, good. Or do you mean that it'll take
No.
more than 10 minutes?
It will more than likely take quite a bit longer.
I see. Well, I think
At
Whatever.
least
Still think
an
he's a
hour or
doppelganger.
so.
He's a shape shifting telepathic
I'll
doppelganger.
probably be sitting this
Yeah.
one out then.
That's what a doppelganger would say.
Yeah, what,
I don't know. What do you want me to roll? Because I feel like people would know that druids can hold their shape for more than 10 minutes.
I'm pretty sure it's a 10-minute thing in 5e.
Are
Hmm.
you sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's an hour, isn't it?
No, it's an hour. An hour. It's like half your level in hours.
Is
Yeah.
it?
I'm rolling initiative against Vodari. We're taking him out. He's a doppelganger.
Yeah. Be shaped for a number of hours equal to half your druid
Oh,
level.
see.
Yeah, I know
Fair enough.
I know it worked off at least hours. Because there's a point when you can stay in druid shape.
And yeah, once you're like max level or something, well, near like
It's
high
not-
levels of play, it's
Right.
Yeah.
You,
Like they get a trait that lets them do it, but even before that point, at like level 9 or 10 or something, you can burn both your things
Okay.
to have 8
well, then,
hours
yeah,
for
he's
each
got an
slot.
hour or so.
Oh, okay. So it is variable. then.
Right.
I mean,
You're just
you
doing a
cannot
really
turn
bad
into
job.
beaming creatures until like higher levels, but
Yeah, like he's turned into a half CR creature, no doubt.
Right.
It was just the time. Like I knew that it was more than 10
Yeah, well,
minutes.
see, that's just a difference because I can only hold mine for 10 minutes in our game.
Oh yeah, because you use
Right.
the spores feature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference.
yeah.
Okay. Well then, yeah, we should. He may need to use both of his wild shapes, but we can take a short rest.
So, Tythrin and Kaya, you guys are having a really hard time with it this time. You know, it's just a matter of.
Well, I mean, I had to. The life, and I had to always roll dexterity for what should be. Check.
I mean, I'm not great at it either. I'm not proficient, and I can always swim, so I don't really care if I fall.
Is Azori proficient in watercraft?
Yep.
But yeah, you know, let me get one more weather check. Interesting. We're not doing that when the weather is calm.
Good hair. No, hit me with that. I want to hear it.
I'm curious
I
now.
want to hear it. You can't say we're
The
not.
seas are
doing that.
wild. If it goes from calm towards giant storm within the space of an hour, that makes sense for the middle of the ocean.
We're hitting it, girl. I don't care what it is. Hit us with it. Is it the terror one where we all have to roll terror checks? I'm ready for it. Let's go.
So, well,
Cool.
it does
Explain.
it's going to change things a little bit because there is now a
I'm ready.
psychic calm going through the area. It's a supernatural calm settles over the land, stopping raging creatures from fighting and joyous ones from reveling. Creatures cannot take violent actions or do anything destructive. Psychic Calm negates any morale bonuses granted by spells such as Bless, Good Hope, and Rage, as well as a bard's ability to inspire courage or a barbarian's rage ability. It also negates any fear or confusion effects.
All right. It's fine.
However, we do in fact make it eventually to this other island.
And does anyone else feel like really just
Everybody's
Mad
having
Day?
a real good time. Everybody's real
Well,
mellow.
we're not having a good time. It's just like it's a time because we can't
Yeah.
feel joy.
It's
Like,
true.
time?
It's
It's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
meh.
You're right. You're right.
Like everything's
not-
just kind of like
Is this dynamic lighting?
Yeah.
It is dynamic lighting.
I threw myself on the bottom.
It is daytime, however. So
I still can't see
throw
anything.
yourselves onto the thing because I have to update your lighting.
But it's daytime,
It
right?
is daytime.
Oh, it's got pillars. I see.
Oh, Zori's token is right.
Wow, how big is this goddamn map, Grim? Oh, okay. Pretty big, but not
This is
too
a
big.
big
Not
island. I thought it was
huge. It's
small.
bigger than this, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, this is just the starting area.
And Kaya, where are you?
All right. Okay. Where's my token?
What would
On the
time
bottom.
be now?
Somewhere on the bottom.
Yeah. Oh,
It's fine.
there we go.
Because I don't have anything on here.
Oh, before we came over, I would have taken two of the healing fruit out of Chester, because I wouldn't have bought Chester.
Okay.
Bought them with us.
All right. So we arrived to this island. And the island is... This is certainly not what you think of by an island. This is a landmass that is just barely above the water in places. It's mostly sort of sunken over, and it appears to be mostly sort of marshland. Or at least the weird weather equivalent of marshland, because surely it should be seawater.
Yeah. that's
Stubby,
nice.
of course, is with you.
Oh, nice. He's buying one of those. Hey, Stubbs.
Because I ain't just drinking mouthfuls of it. I'm just having a taste. Is the water salt water? Oh, okay. Guys, this is the best water in the world.
You
Feel free to
know.
drink it all you want.
Just filling your
That is
canteen
amazing.
full of it.
You sort of only meant to drink, just a little sip, but you sort of like coughing as you were doing it, and instead of like coughing the water out, you sort of just drank it in, and then it goes down the wrong pipe, and it's just this awful mess, and now your throat is just burning on fire. It is an awful experience for you. But you have no idea whether it's salt water or not.
I
Drink
like.
the water no matter what it is.
I mean,
I would like to try to
horrible.
I
drink
know-
the water.
I have a sense of water. I mean, I live in water. Like I can swim and everything. Can I tell if this is actually salt water or not?
Sure, but first I want, just anyone really, or everyone, to roll me perception.
I'll do it. And I'm not, even if I'm not great.
So, we sort of cup this water, and as we cup this water is disgusting. It is just filled with what surely looks like just dozens upon dozens of these tiny, wriggly little larvae.
Oh God, Nix.
God. Wait, did it cut out?
I'm
For
sorry?
everyone?
Did you not hear that?
That might not be very good.
I cut out a while ago. I've missed,
Oh,
I've
no.
missed a lot.
I heard you.
So sort of the last things we said.
I just heard like wriggly.
Yeah,
and
or a
then
wriggly
after that-
little like mosquito larva.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
Nikki
just
and
rub the water.
Kaya, I guess,
Yeah.
Tythrin and Kaya, you hear just further off onto the island this very low humming sound, as if it's quite far away, and just sort of, very calmly chilling out.
Like bussing. Okay.
Oh, I guess, should we just take a rest and catch our breath? I kind of don't feel like doing much of anything in regards to the bugs at the moment.
Well, this isn't as simple as we might have to do. There's a lot of more bugs here in all the water.
There probably would be if this whole thing is
I
a
mean-
breeding ground for them.
It's the larva. Like we already see the whole larva. So
Can we boil the water? Cast firebolt endlessly at the water till it boils.
If you have a way to endlessly cast fireball, yes, that would in theory
I can
work.
endlessly cast produce flame. It's a cantrip.
It's essentially the same. Ah, it doesn't show spell description.
I can show the description if you want.
It's just if it can ignite flammable materials.
Everything around here is quite soggy, as you may be able to imagine.
Oh yeah, I was just meaning for like, in terms of if it actually puts off heat or if it just puts off light or does heat damage or a wave of heat or whatever.
There you go.
Oh. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
You know, this volume of water, we could spend, quite a long time here before we really put a dent in it, It's going to take an awful lot to heat it up.
But it's not just hitting it up, but like it's burning all the larvae that are on top of it.
What are we talking about? Are we still talking about this water?
Yeah, well, it contains the bugs as well. It contains the lava, so we kind of need to figure out a way to get rid of it as well.
Our job is to kill the bugs. How do we know these are even the larvae of the, things we're sent to kill?
I mean, little bugs in water that
Oh no,
act
Shafir
and
is
look
here.
like mosquito, and big mosquitoes flying around somewhere. What would
Why don't
maybe
You see
someone
any big mosquitoes?
roll me nature?
I gotcha.
Someone who
Technically, I'm
has some
proficient in it,
pluses.
but I'm
rolling
not
nature.
intelligent.
I got a +4 in nature. I demand an apology. I'm rolling that stupid check.
I'm proficient in nature, so I rolled it, but I'm not good at it.
Oh, I'm also proficient in nature.
Between the two of you, you're pretty sure these are just regular mosquito larvae.
Oh my god, I told you.
Oh, I suppose big mosquitoes would probably have big lava.
Exactly.
You just say Kaya is still trying to cast produce flame on the water.
I'm used to a workshop, not the outside, okay?
Who has the highest passive perception?
I
not me.
have 13.
I have
13.
12.
14.
Well,
Okay, so 14.
Yes.
This sort of buzzing, there is a loud buzzing coming from the north to the south. It is rather lazily, to be honest, coming in your direction.
How do you know the speed of something based on the sound of the buzzing? Like what's the difference between a lazy buzzing and a I'm coming to kill you?
I'd like to
buzzing?
think that it's because there's sort of a supernatural weather thing going on that we can
Oh, you know
really
what?
tell.
That's a good point. Yeah, he's really out of it today. Yeah.
Maybe,
You know what?
maybe we could make them allies too.
I mean, that seems like too much work. Maybe we could just
We've already got
ask
2
him-
warning traits to go against.
We could ask him to leave or something.
And flying, we see the first one.
Dun, dun, dun. It's just a giant.
Although it
mosquito.
kills me
Imagine-
because it doesn't have wings on the picture, but you
my
gotta
God.
deal with what you gotta deal with.
I mean,
It's called a
It
wall.
is definitely flying, however.
That is a big mosquito.
the thing is terrifying, to be honest. Like, you see that in real life, you're gonna run away.
Like a telekinesis
yeah.
fly, just like hovering there.
Oh boy.
Cast produce flames at them.
No, you cannot. Because unfortunately, due to the weather, you can't take violent actions.
Oh,
Well, I'm not. I'm not. That's why I suggested we ask him to leave because that's sort of the mood I'm feeling right now.
You lied and bothered me.
yeah.
Parlay.
You parlay with the here. What are your qualms with the other two?
Hey, you mosquitoes, can we talk?
Actually, yeah, we have a druid who can talk to the mosquitoes.
Can you?
Not really. I cannot speak to animals. I
Ah,
don't
can't-
take those spells. That's not Kaya.
Can Variel?
Yuvariel's with us.
Let
Yeah.
me see what Variel has prepared. Oh, I should have sheet. Because I didn't change anything that he has prepared. He cannot.
Cast cure wounds on the mosquitoes.
He can cure wounds, he can detect magic, he can good berry, and purify food and drink.
It's Variel for a good berry.
I thought he didn't come with us.
He did.
No, he did.
There was my mistake
Oh.
saying it
Figured
was
out
only
the
10 minutes
towers.
rather than an hour. So we brought him along with.
He's not actually double.
So these sort of large mosquitoes come and sort of size us up and size us down. And, they look awfully hungry.
I pet one.
Huh?
Can I just
I pet one.
yeah?
It doesn't shy away from you. It doesn't seem to enjoy it. I mean, as you're touching it, it sort of starts touching you.
What
Hey,
healing?
Sharper, do you think you could ride one?
You could ride it.
I could try.
Grim's already like, no, you're not having a fucking flying mount. Just stop it.
Dangerous one at that.
Well,
Maybe you can do that.
Life
Try
is
it.
life, Sharper.
What about animal handling to try and jump on its back?
You have said two grossly different things. You said animal handling, then you said jump on its back. The two are not the same.
I said jump is more of a placeholder. I don't actually mean jump. Attempt. I would like to attempt to ride the giant mosquito.
You can? You are definitely skipping several steps in the taming process.
Killed him.
I wasn't trying to tame it. I was just saying if I could ride it.
What?
Just hold on
Sound
to
like
it and see where I go.
You're jumping onto the giant flying mosquito version of a wild stallion.
Hey.
Oh my god.
You jump onto it, and it just drops prone.
No, Sharper, get off. That's a violent action. You can't
It's
be
like
doing that
putting,
right now.
a sweater on a cat. It just goes limp.
Not used to the weight.
I found their weakness.
You can now just begin to teach it how
They
to
don't
fly
like
with you.
weight.
I mean, you are definitely sitting, have pinned its wings down as well.
Don't hurt the mosquito. I want to pick Sharper up.
I'm gonna get off the mosquito thing.
All right, it sort of gets up and it sort of buzzes away indignantly, but lazily.
Maybe we should look to see if there's like a hive or something. Maybe there's like a queen we can talk to.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe the queen is susceptible to words.
Hive mind.
You walk deeper into the island, Graham.
I gotta tell you, that weather is throwing me for a bit of a loop.
It's throwing all of us. for
There's some weird weather.
So let's get initiative on here, but it's one of those, pseudo initiative type things. So, honestly, not even everybody needs to roll it, but blah, blah, blah.
God.
We're just sort of, oh my gosh.
In the breeze.
I
It's
get 9
too
for
deep.
initiative
Can you
so
roll for
much.
me, Graham?
Hmm?
Roll for me.
Yeah.
Thank
All right. So Azori, way at the top with the nat 20.
How do I sit there? Um, uh, some of the mosquitoes kind of started taking off, right?
Well, they're sort of milling around now. They came, they sort of investigated you. Sharfer jumped on one, and then like a couple of them have like gone off at this point. Most especially the one that's been jumped on.
All right, I guess we'll just start kind of making our way from the direction that they came. Honestly,
So if you're moving through these areas that are these marshy, that is difficult terrain.
no fun.
But like these parts are okay. Obviously.
Correct. So you got to kind of, you know, if you're going from like 1 to 1, it's, you know, a single tile difficult terrain, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It's unpleasant, it's swampy, it's mucky. You find your boots, your shoes, or your heels, or whatever you're wearing, I don't want to presume, are definitely sort of getting stuck in the mud just constantly, you know.
Hythrin is definitely one to wear a heel.
Every 3 steps or so, you're just having to pull your own legs and your own boots and shoes out as well. Perhaps having to reach in even and, you know, do a little bit more on your own. Either way, everyone can follow suit behind Azori. Oh, I didn't roll for my boy. You know what? I'm not going to roll for Stubby. I'm not rolling for Stubby. I'm not rolling for Variel. I'll just, you know, when things come to it, we'll come to it. But
They could come
and
to it.
then I'll roll for them. And I'm also going to be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. If everybody else would like to do so, let's take 5 right here. So I'll be back.
Yep.
Time to rip up that card. Hey there, Emerald.
Here.
It was this week that you needed it to go to Monday, eh?
This week I need to go to Monday. What?
I'm back.
for the term.
Oh, yeah. It was Sunday, but yeah.
Yeah,
Those weekends.
Sunday for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, like I said, I technically do like Friday or whatever, but it would be
Oh, yeah.
No,
inconvenient.
it works out better for me as well because Mrs. has her kids, so we'll go do something on Saturday for us. But yeah.
All right, now I'm back.
Hello. Are we waiting on people?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Waiting
Harper?
on one or two.
Yep, sounds like 2.
I like diplomatize. You know. The secret about this island. And when we get to the final boss, we'll have like diplomats talk them out. That's our like long-term goal.
Hello, sorry if I'm late.
It's all right. I think we're still waiting on Kaya.
Yeah, I'm here.
Missouri?
I'm here.
Okay. I guess this is everybody here then.
Oh no, you were
We
waiting.
were waiting on you.
Or we hated every second of it.
Was the cigarette
here
really worth
in
it?
Agony.
Was it really worth it?
No.
All right. So again, the mosquitoes move around. Some of them appear to be following us. Some of them appear to be just haphazardly wandering. They are sort of interested in us, but not very.
I know
They want to
drink
eat us,
blood.
but then they can't, so they don't want to eat us.
I know mosquitoes generally drink blood, but what would it do if I offered one a ration?
Try.
We'll hold out a ration towards one.
I mean, I don't think mosquitoes
Do I need to roll one of those?
mosquitoes necessarily eat, but like only females mosquitoes bite.
No.
So,
male mosquitoes have to eat
you
something.
hold out the
mean-
you think to the mosquito, and perhaps you did it too sudden or something, but anyway, it flies away startled.
I don't think they like solid food.
All right, back up and around to Azori.
We went through the whole initiative order. I didn't do anything. Where was my turn?
It went around to it.
You didn't say it was my
I
turn.
didn't say it was anybody's turn, because we're not in actual combat. We're just sort of clicking through.
Well, I was waiting because we have initiative.
Wow.
But it's one of those initiatives that are not initiative, so
I would like to do something.
What would you like to do?
I don't know.
You would
when I
like to
cut
be
a tree
difficult.
so that it falls on top of a mosquito by accident.
I would like to what's the landscape like? I mean, you said it was quite, swampy, muddy, but like, are there like trees around? I mean, obviously there's lighting, so I assume there's some trees.
You could see the trees, right?
Yeah,
Like you're
Trees
looking
are
at the
the light.
map, right?
yeah.
What are trees?
But like these are, I don't know. For some reason, they didn't
These
spark me
things-
as trees. They spark me as like
the-
pillars or something. Because they're
big
so
trees.
fat.
If you look around the big black shapes, there's what looks like foliage and looks like, tree branches and bushes.
I would
Wait.
like to use perception and look off in the distance for a giant like beehive or something.
You don't see anything like that, but you think you can make out some sort of ruins ahead of you, but not just ruins, giant-sized ruins.
I'm gonna tell everyone that I think I see some ruins up ahead, but not just like ruins, like giant-sized ruins.
Yeah, 420.
For things like pillars and trees for the dynamic lighting, use a cross through them, because then it gives you views as you move around, and it doesn't just make this big pillar effect.
Well, I liked these pillar
But it
effects
will
because
still
we
block you.
can't cross through. These are dead spaces right here. These are
yeah,
physical
that's
trees
good.
that we can't hit through.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair enough point, for sure.
All right, so again, we sort of have seen, and with a 10, pretty much everybody can see that passively as well. Ahead of us, there are some ruins of some sort, but they do not look as if they are human-sized buildings. We're still pretty far away from them. They look quite large, though.
Like I said,
Science.
And I'll be honest, since we're not in any kind of combat right now, we can just sort of pass to that if we would like to.
I mean, in all fairness, right about now, I did want to turn around and say, are you going to come with us, Tytherin, or are you just staying back there?
Yeah,
I thought someone was moving me.
staying back.
I have my hands off the keyboard. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take my nail polish off right now. We do some intense moments.
That's very
Well,
fighter
it's-
robot of you.
Gel nail
Oh,
polish.
man.
Gel nail polish. Probably not, but it's impossible to get off.
But why does a robot need a wheel nail polish?
For my
So,
heel.
Zori, when you get right about there, this... You may see in just a second.
Monster.
Oh, this will be
An
effect
even
stand.
bigger
The
mosquito.
swarm of mosquitoes.
Oh,
Normal
jeez.
sized. But comes out. And it comes around you. And it doesn't bite you at all.
I ride the mosquito swarms and they take me to the skies.
Zora just kind of freezes up for the whole time.
You are, however, not happy to be this close to it. And this is one that I am going to make you do. Mostly for the fact that I want to make you aware of it before, worse comes to worse. Because, we should have been aware of things before we're getting this far into it. But, there is a maddening whirring coming from the mosquito swarm.
But I only feel quite calm. All things equal.
You only feel this very calm, this very lazy, movement from the other ones. But these ones themselves, there's no getting around it. There's just so many of them. And again, it's not really relevant right now.
What is the map?
But it's something we should be aware of.
What if I drive in a car and listen to your podcast? Because I do that.
What?
What does it do? What if I'm driving and playing D&D and grab? What does Maddening World do? I can't read the text. It's too far away.
Can you lean forward?
I could, but I'm like...
When a creature comes within 5 feet of the mosquito for the first time on its turn, it must succeed a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw or gain disadvantage on attacks against creatures other than the mosquito.
Okay.
And then,
I see.
a little bit more text, but it's mostly,
Thank you.
until it moves away, blah, 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 from the mosquito. And you actually have to hear it as well.
Good thing I brought my earmuffs with me.
I'm just gonna fire my pistol off into the air twice, one on either side of my head. But yes, I guess we.
I mean, like, you say that, but you really wouldn't be able to hear that Maddening World if you truly saw a firearm to your ear.
Oh yeah.
All you'd hear is a ringing. So, what we're gonna do, because it hasn't taken us very long to peacefully move through the area, is head on to the next map, and you can pull yourselves onto the south. You know what? No, I'll pull you on, and that way it'll save all the settings and all that.
You're too kind,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
This. We pull ourselves in the south.
Look, there's gonna be like some amazing loot at the end of this, and we're gonna be like, "Good work, everybody."
This is
Oh wait, no, we
This is-
promised to
this
kill
is-
them.
this,
So
this is exactly like how we promised to kill the Sahagwin and then didn't kill the Sahagwin. We're just gonna promise to kill everything and then leave everything
Mission
alive.
accomplished.
I mean, to be fair, this one wasn't technically our fault.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we're gonna get there, and they're gonna be like, "Why didn't you?" And we're like, "We really weren't." into it."
Everything was real
I
chill.
mean, didn't you just feel the vibe in the air? It's like just like I didn't want to feel like killing today.
We can't kill the vibe. We were vibing, the mosquito revived. It was a great time.
But yes.
that was meant.
Alright, we're
we,
here.
we,
We're
we were meant to potentially die.
all vibing. Mosquitoes are vibing. Mosquitoes following us still.
I think we're following them. Remember?
You certainly seem to be following one of them, at the very least. And it happens to be, of course, the one that Sharfer has jumped on. It seems to be staying ahead of you and in front of you by... well, how much is that? I mean... a good 100 feet or so. If we start to veer in a different direction, it starts to veer in the same direction. If we go the other way, it goes the other way as well.
If we stop, does it like also
It does.
stop? What if I take a
No.
step back?
Well, it would, a step is not worrying it. It would stay stationary.
Okay, what if we all collectively took like 5 feet back?
5 feet would probably not worry it either.
So if we walk back, it doesn't walk back with us?
And not on small increments like that. If we're, it looks like we're turning around or something, and we want to try that, it would follow you.
I see. I think he likes you, Sharper.
I just don't think he doesn't like being rude.
Point mosquito.
We can keep the sort of the same thing going on. But sure enough, what we come to are ruins. But they are obviously not human-sized ruins, even though they are, as the name sort of implies, ruined. These are something that was obviously made by some type of giant race.
Is it made of obsidian?
No. It is not made out of obsidian. It was made out of stone at one point in time. This looks like one of the few sort of large buildings that was remaining. We've passed by stone here and there, but this is sort of the only even vaguely intact walls that we've seen. So it was probably a fairly decent sized building, height-wise. Rather small when it comes to, you know, floor space for a giant.
Maybe they're really into like vertical architecture. Maybe they're like giraffes. Well, I know what a giraffe is. Giraffes.
Why would it be by now?
You would probably know what a giraffe is.
Do
Well, you know, giraffes. So they, you know, they take a lot of vertical space, but you know, horizontal space. No.
do we even know what we're looking for here?
I mean, technically, we're not looking for anything. We're just sort of walking.
We're exterminators.
We were walking look to see if there was like a hive potentially.
Well,
Hive, power figure.
So we could like maybe find like
oh, sorry.
there would like a central mosquito, one mosquito to rule them all.
Nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
But otherwise, I don't. Yeah, like we weren't really technically looking for anything.
Well, you know, we're sort of
Chilling here.
chilling. Supposedly there is a holy site of some sort, you know, on the island. I'd like to try to find it. Maybe we could, you know, check out these ruins too. Maybe there's still something. Who knows?
Could be some fun artifacts around.
Sure.
Yeah,
Is the
that
stuff water
sounds
too?
like more
Yes,
of
it
a
is.
plan than we currently have.
It sort of ends, you know.
The shortest part. Does it come to like dry cobblestone, or is all this water too?
That is cobblestone.
Someone drag me forward, please.
Oh my gosh.
We can't move
Don't
you.
leave me behind with Vario and Kai.
No,
Oh, God, you dragged me in such a weird spot. I wanted to.
I'm behind.
No. So again, you know, we see a bunch of the mosquitoes, but you know, they're not hostile.
Oh, sometimes I wonder why I make campaigns in the first place.
If only.
So this peaceful wind would be the perfect thing for a murder hobo campaign. Though, if you just want to keep some NPCs alive for like 10 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, you know what? I go up to, like, the ruin nest. Like, what this thing back here? Is this just a doorway? Is there anything to this?
I may have been a gate at one time, may have just been a large doorway. Kind of hard to tell. The stone is thicker there, certainly, but you're not entirely sure.
In general, I would like to sort of look around the ruins and see if there's, like, any artifacts, any, like, symbols, because, you know, we're looking for, like, a holy site or something. Maybe, like, directions, like, if you're a fish person, go here.
I think we should try and find a room or somewhere as safe as possible and take a rest at some point.
"22,
Yeah.
So you're sort of, and I presume all of you are more or less doing this while, you know, you're obviously safe from being attacked. But you're sort of poking through the rooms and prodding through them, and most things have sort of dissolved or decayed into non-functionality, which, you know, certainly makes sense. It's probably quite old for the most part. But we come across something that it certainly doesn't look like it fits there. We're sort of very minutely looking for things because, again, we're looking for carvings on rocks, whatever there is. Between all of us, you know, Tytherin, you find what looks like a very pristine, very well kept care of, if not maybe the most polished ring.
See. You know
Is
what,
it like
Graham?
a normal sized ring, or is it like a bracelet for him?
Well, yes, excuse me. It would be a giant's ring. So it does sort of fit on as
Like
a
bracelet.
bracelet. But for all intents and purposes, it's still a ring.
Okay, you know what, Grim? Since we're, you know, just here, it looks nice, the mood's all right. I want to just put it on. I'm just gonna put it on.
Well, it does not appear to be
Wanna put it on?
cursed.
Well, that's a good start. Well, I'm not trying to take it off, to be fair. So
Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't, you know, turn your blood to acid or anything.
Well, that's also a good start. Ha, I don't have any blood, so we don't even know.
It doesn't turn your mechanical fluid to acid.
All right.
Like, I think changing hydraulic fuel fluid in a robot to acid would be worse than changing blood to acid for a human.
I don't know. Either way, you end up looking like the xenomorph in the fourth movie.
You know, I've never watched the fourth movie because I stopped it.
The newborn one?
Nah, there's a normal xenomorph drone that to break out two of its sisters stab it with their tails.
Ah, yeah.
But you know what, Grim? I'm wearing it. And then, you know what? I don't die or anything, so I'm like, nice.
Nice.
Nice. Wait, maybe it's just because not even artifacts can cause hostile action.
The cursed artifact.
That would be great. Just
The
the wind changes and then just death.
And that
Yeah,
just
the wind
explodes
changes and
fire.
her arm just explodes off.
Hits an arm of always fireball.
Oh.
Everything I do can only be fireball.
Even better, the ring is actually what's causing the calming.
Oh. So it's permanent now. For the rest of the campaign, it's like.
There's
The
no
rest of
more fighting in the rest of the
RP
campaign.
campaign. Let's do it.
RP campaign.
But yeah, no, both in character and out of character. I reckon we just need to take a rest until, or keep looking for a hive until this weather clears off.
But I mean, this
Yeah,
is the
I
best
mean,
look, though.
if we cannot take a rest.
We want to sleep on the mosquito island.
I mean, I reckon we could, like, shoo these ones out of here.
Oh yeah, you know, it's not like it's an island covered in mosquitoes. I'm sure
Oh, yeah,
they'll
yeah.
just like give us our space for them.
Yeah, we start in the middle of the mosquitoes so that we can get swarmed by mosquitoes as soon as the weather clears up.
The weather's gonna drop. And just, you know,
Well, I mean, once they start attacking, we'll know.
We
Oh,
could.
wait, it's
what-
night.
Well, what about this room? This room only has two entrances. We could block off one of the doors. If not
and
both of the
trap
doors.
ourselves on the island. I like it.
It should be noted
Or
there
we
is
could
no
just-
roof to any of these buildings.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if
Well,
we,
in that case,
we go to the beach where the wave striders are, because that way we can leave the island if things start going bad. If we sleep in the middle of the island, that means there's nowhere to run.
Except
Good.
for back to the Wave Riders. Can fight our way back out.
Well, sure, but we have to fight. If if we do want to sleep,
Good.
we might as well just be on the Wave Riders, so we can just immediately leave instead of having to fight to leave.
No, I like being surrounded. It means no one can be cowards.
Well,
Yeah.
I can still be a coward. I'll be the first one to the boat.
I mean, regardless, yeah, if we would go back and try to fight, once the thing clears up, we'd still have to fight our way to them, and regardless where we're going at, we'd still have to fight. Yeah.
I kind of think we should head out towards that Holy Land. Wait,
We don't know where the Holy Land is. That's the thing.
We're still looking for it.
This is not a huge island, mind you. I understand we've been through several maps, but
Do you have any ideas where it might be?
probably just further on to the north.
Oh, we go further to the north.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point, too.
Yeah, like I wasn't meaning we have to take a rest here right now. I was just saying at some point we will probably want to take a rest and then deal with these bugs.
let's start looking around
Yeah,
the room
finish
and
exploring
being
the
like,
island.
maybe we should just start heading north.
Grim, we head to the north.
Yep, keep moving.
I see nothing.
Until we reach the other end of the
All right.
Oh,
Hey,
would we
Stumpy,
have to go through all of this against mosquitoes? Oh my god.
do you think this might be it?
Looks like it.
Could be it. Stubby,
Could be.
So we see the one that's sort of
What's-
been
thing looks
leading
weird.
us. Sort of come up and come forward, and then come to something different looking.
Is it the Queen?
About the same size, different looking.
Oh my god, it is the Queen!
Oh, that's our main target then.
We need to talk to her. We need to diplomatize her.
We tell her what does she need us to do so that we can, so that they can live, so that the.
Tythrin, go out, talk to it. I don't know if it understands languages, but you can
Psychic
talk
ring. I
telepathically,
can talk
right?
to it. Oh my gosh. Where's the Queen? I don't actually see it.
The
Yes.
end of the.
Doors straight, dead ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, Grim. Unless something. I'm just gonna, in like truly walk up fashion. I'm not gonna like draw myself doing the whole thing.
And as
But,
soon
like-
as we reach the middle, that's when the wind stops.
Oh my god. Well, I would truly just keep walking up to the Queen over and over and over. I'm gonna walk through the holy symbol.
I'm
As
saying.
Tythrin's
Close
doing that,
enough.
I actually want to go up and investigate this middle part.
And I would stand within 5 feet of her, and I would telepathically say, "Hello."
All right,
No-
hold
not fancy
on.
greeting, but- So that's what I'm saying. If at any point you wish to stop me, feel free to. But that is what's going to happen otherwise.
Sharfer, you can't make heads or tails of it. There are some sort of
This is
fresh runes cut into it, but it doesn't look like any, alphabet that you've ever seen. It mostly looks like squiggles. It's probably your imagination, but it looks like it's slightly brighter.
Uh-oh.
this just looks like any odd floor to me. I don't even know if this is the Holy Land.
So,
Yep.
Tythrin,
Yep.
what do you say?
You know, Graham, I know that when you started this episode, so you're like, man, we didn't have any combat this week. I'm so glad that we're going to get to have a bunch of combat this week.
Got enough maps prepared ahead of us that we could have maybe even 2 sessions of combat.
2 sessions of combat.
Enough
Yep.
time
All
and a
right.
nice area to rest in between in case, we're looking pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah, all right. Well, you know what? The mood is pretty chill. So I would just, be like, hello there. You know?
Are you trying to seduce the Blood Queen?
Hey, you come to this ruined temple often.
So, the Blood Queen telepathically says to you, and also says in Sylvian, if anybody can understand that.
Oh,
What?
I actually do.
In sort of this very high-pitched, buzzing and slightly annoying voice that I
I
don't
just
do
walk
very
forward. Oh,
well.
you can speak languages? In Sylvan, by the way.
Yes? Why are you shocked at that? I'm not shocked that you can speak languages.
I mean, I'm sorry, I've never seen, insects that can speak.
Insect? Ugh. I'm a fey creature, thank you very much.
Grim,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything. I didn't mean to insult you. It's just you look a lot like the other.
Do I?
I mean, yes, you're just tan but white.
I suppose there's no accounting for some tastes.
I guess.
So, what are you all doing here, taking advantage of the somewhat inclement weather?
I mean, we were told to come here because, by some fish people said that you were running like you were ruining their sacred place. They wanted help with that, so we came here.
With the intentions of?
I mean, the original intention was to, get rid of all of you, but getting rid can be of many ways. Like, it could be fighting, it could be just talking it out like we're doing, or, yeah, making sure you're just away of this island, get out of this island.
Interesting. And so, what are you suggesting?
I look at everyone kind of, I don't know what I'm doing.
Grim, is telepathic.
Neither do we, really.
Is telepath communication
Telepathy.
not two-way in 5th
It is.
edition?
It's
Telepathy,
two-way.
that's what I thought.
And she was
So,
speaking
when I
that
talk-
both telepathically and physically in Sylvian.
Okay.
So you two can understand the conversation. The rest of us are like, what?
Sure, okay. Well, now that we're here, I'm going to say that, we're trying to get off this island. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go back even further. I'm going to say that, this island here, is guarded by a giant sea monster. Maybe she's seen it. A giant crab. And we wish to leave the island to visit the rest of the world. However, we can't do that. I don't know if she's aware, but after the Great Cataclysm, when the world split apart, I don't know how old she is. But there's a whole world out there. We want to go back to it. That's where we came from, and we're currently recruiting people. Not people, mind you. We're recruiting factions, I guess you could say. Recruiting creatures to help us on this crusade to rid this island of its horrible weather that plagues it and the beasts that murders everyone indiscriminately as it pleases, and if they would be interested in possibly joining our crusade.
I don't quite see what's in it for me.
The freedom to go wherever you please.
What do you
'Cause,
mean?
I mean, sure, you can fly, but like the storms, because the storms hit the thunder, the lightning. Surely you must hate it, correct? As
Yes, I understand this, but what's your proposition? You're saying I can go where I please, but I still appear to be trapped here under this plan of yours.
Well, no, because once we rid the sea demon existence, free to go wherever you please. That's the great part. No more storms, or you could just stay here. You could live an amazing life at this island.
Are you under the impression that this thing causes storms?
I mean, we know so.
You're delusional.
Where did storms come from then?
I mean, it's random weather. The old random weather generator. It rains sometimes. That's a thing that happens. It happens on all planes.
It happens sometimes, but it doesn't change as fast as it does here.
How do you explain this phenomenon right now?
Well, I would chalk that up to Vesri's rage. The storm that sort of, perpetually goes on in the center of the continent.
That's a good answer. I'm going to tell her that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Why are you under the impression that this creature causes storms?
It causes non-extraterrestrial phenomenal storms.
Exactly.
It causes normal ones.
Surely it's more likely that it happens to rain, and then someone says that, oh, look, that thing's causing the storm.
I mean, do you know that it doesn't cause the rain to appear? Maybe once it is vanquished, the skies will be,
I know that would take some pretty impressive magic, and I don't think anything can cast magic that impressive around here.
Wow.
Not yet, but maybe after we kill one god, we'll be able to solve the problems of others.
Exactly. I'll say what Nick said back to the mosquito.
Yeah, I can't understand any of this. Never mind.
I wouldn't say I'd relay, sort of, or maybe Kaya's relaying while I telepathically talk.
I'm already used to translating other things.
So yeah.
I understand Sylvan.
But consider the following. We help you out. I mean, you're surely
How are you helping me out? This is the point where I'm slightly confused.
Well, you know what? What's the biggest problem you have on this island?
Well, there's not enough to eat.
There you go. We'll help you with that.
Oh?
Exactly. We help
How do you like fish?
And you help us mount our attack on the Titanic crab.
Yes, and how will you help me?
What do you eat?
What do you eat?
Child, what do you think I eat?
Blood.
Well, I mean, is she a
Blood?
Yes, of course I eat blood. We all do.
I mean, there's an island filled with people.
You have a ship.
Consider this. If you kill the crab, thing has to have blood, more blood than any other creature, all the creatures put together. You could feast for years.
What about this? We've promised the tribes people to get rid of the Sahagwin. We've promised the Sahagwin to get rid of the bugs. We just put the bugs on the other island. The Sahagwin can come here
Promise the
and
bugs to get rid
hey,
of. Oh my god.
I mean,
Bugs
yeah,
would
we
just
put the
get-
bugs on the other island. The bugs deal with the tribe people. The Sahagin are happy. They come here. I mean, everyone is happy.
We could tell the
We do what we
dealt with
promised.
the bugs,
Hear me out.
which would send the Sahagwin here, and then the bugs would either
Yeah,
have something
that's
to eat,
not
or
a
the
bad idea. If
Sahagwin
we
would
put
get
the
rid of the bugs
bugs
themselves.
on the main
Look,
island.
because the
And
You
then
know,
the
at
Sahagwin
one point
want
we're gonna
bugs
have to
on
choose a
Earth.
side to just fully side with.
And then we can get the fire elemental on our side as well.
Oh my god.
I feel
Yeah,
like
Sure.
Fire
Let's just put it
elemental
the way we want
aside.
to.
By elemental aside, honestly, I'm more in mind to, at the end game, choose the Sahagwin over the tribes people.
Oh yeah, no, Kaya is totally into that as well. So like, that aside, yeah, like
That's why I'm like, give the tribes people the bugs. The Sahagwin can have their sacred ground. We didn't promise the tribes people that we would get rid of bugs or anything like that.
I mean, if we move the bugs to the main island, we haven't got rid of them. They can eat the
Should this
bugs.
be more of a logic of which group do we think we could fight and win against?
With the Sahagwin's help, I reckon we could easily take the tribes people.
Yeah, I guess we could.
But we
do that.
can't take an entire tribe either way
But
if we
with
don't
the
have
mosquitoes
backup.
help, we can take the tribe people. With the mosquitoes and the Sahagin.
Right, we could probably take the mosquitoes. That would get the Sagwin Island, and then the tribe people will be happy because Sagwin are gone.
Oh my
See?
gosh.
Everyone wins except the tribes people who are bloodthirsty dicks anyway.
Yeah, they just want to kill the Sahagin because they see the Sahagin attacking. They see the Sahagin in their shores.
They want to kill the Sahagwin because the Sahagwin eat. I mean, sure,
Yeah.
they eat sentient life, but hey, where do you draw the line at sentience?
Surely people, right?
Yeah.
Besides,
we're
we
not having
haven't
such
seen
big
them
mouth
eat people.
Yeah, and
We
they're still there.
haven't
I
seen
mean,
the baby.
we haven't seen these mosquitoes drink blood either. They've allowed us to walk straight through the middle of their island absolutely unharmed. We're talking to their queen.
I mean, they did say they would eat blood, though.
Look,
Like these guys are just admitting it.
Oh yeah.
are you stuck on this island? Typically,
Yes, you
Or-
said you have ships. Or a ship.
we can take. I mean, hell,
Bad.
we could just take everyone off this island. We can take the fire elemental. We can take the mosquitoes. we can just be like Noah's
That
Ark.
can go to the mainland.
Well, we can take
We're
you
working
off.
on that.
Well, we don't have a big ship, but hear me out. If you help us kill the crab, we can get a big ship. We can come over here and we can take you to the island.
I'm not
Or-
interested in going to the small island filled with those dirty little individuals. I want to go to the mainland.
Well, and as you obviously know, since the cataclysm of the entire world, there is technically no mainland anymore, but there are certainly bigger
What of the
islands
main
we can go to.
islands then?
You know what?
Yes.
We were heading there anyways. If you help us get the crab destroyed, then we will take you with us to the island we were heading to, which I believe is a big island,
Yes.
correct, Grim?
Hmm?
Like,
One of the
we
large
will
ones.
take you with us to the larger island.
That seems agreeable to me, but we'll have to sign a contract of sorts.
Yeah, 'cause it's a
Do
fake
you have
creature.
like?
I have to do about contract, but she's a fake creature.
Don't sign a contract with
It's a
the
fake creature. Yeah. It's like signing a fake, like a contract.
Just be very.
All of it coming a
explicit.
warlock of that creature.
From a
very
fae, it's a whole lot worse than a demon. Don't trust those motherfuckers.
Don't listen to your friends. Although they will
not-
have to sign as well after a sort. It's more of a pact that I have in
it's,
mind. A linking of blood. that keeps us both honest. It keeps me and mine from feeding on you, and it keeps you on the straight and narrow when dealing with me and mine as well.
I don't technically have blood, but not in the drinkable sorts. But
no, you definitely smell different, more worldly, earthly. But the rest of them, they smell delicious.
I'm gonna walk out to Tythrin and just like whisper in his ear. I'm not like incoming now. Like I'm not sure. This is a good idea.
Look, I mean, we'll make the contract not to eat us. For you guys.
Someone that deals with contracts a lot, I don't think this is a good idea.
No, I don't think we should trust this insect.
If it's bound by a pact, it can't betray us.
It's not that. I mean, there also doesn't seem like they'll do good things once they're in the mainland.
I mean, that sounds like someone else's issue. Our main issue at the moment.
Also, if we don't deal with them, what are we gonna like? Does Hagen will get into an issue like we got with the island people, like the tribe people?
I think our main concern is we've made too many deals with too many groups. We need to start deciding which groups we're going to actually help and which one we're going to.
She's sort of very obviously, and it's got to be very obvious for something as, quote unquote alien as that to make it obvious, but is looking pointedly at her sort of her claws, almost as if she was staring at her fingernails.
She's getting impatient.
What's
we're getting impatient.
What's the contract?
Well, again, it'll take some time to write up something perfectly, but again, I give you the gist of it. It's something keeping you from betraying me, and me from betraying you. You said it yourself. Your original reason to come here was to come and kill me.
Dobby, do you think you can float the Sahagwin to be on board with this? At the end of the day, you lot stand to gain from it as well. The tribespeople will be the only one on the back.
Look, what my guys want is these things gone, We don't need them killed or anything like that. We just need them gone. Because we want to come here. Or they, I mean, I'm on the ship, That's my lot.
They would be somewhat agreeable to it then.
Probably. I mean, it may be best to leave out some of the fine details.
Oh, yeah, that would probably be advised, especially in dealing with the tribespeople, because, I mean, they seem like kind of dicks.
I know, right?
I mean, as much as I don't like tribespeople either, but we can figure a way to just not deal with them and making this Hagen happy and making everyone else happy.
I mean, at the end of the day, yes, same. I would prefer to have everyone be happy at the end of it all, but at the same time, like, if we got to make a choice at some point and some side's got to lose, then my lot's with the tribespeople losing out, because they're the only ones that have been this whole time, like, the Sahagwin are evil by nature, but the humans are being evil by intent. They're just being bloodthirsty dicks about it.
I mean, is it evil to kill evil creatures? It's deep.
I mean, if it's needless, that's why it's subjective morality.
Is it needless? I mean, they eat people.
I mean, we've never seen it either. Anyway.
We've never seen it. We don't know. Like,
is a lion evil for eating humans or for eating other lions even?
I mean, Again, don't get me wrong, I don't have a stake in the moral argument either. But, if a lion starts eating people, you put it down because it's got gets a taste for it, and it continues to do so.
That's only because of human superiority that we think that we have a right to life over anything else.
Let's also consider this too, as far as all the groups that's wanting to do. The mosquitoes are the only one that wants to completely leave this island and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, once we leave, the tribe stays on the island. The Hogwins stay here. They don't deal with anybody else, and they don't become our problem after this.
If they want to travel 40 miles to war with each other, that's their own issue at that point.
Right.
We've solved
mosquitoes are
their
the
direct
only
problems.
Yeah, the mosquitoes are the only threat if we help them.
We we make the contract that implies that they aren't at any point.
But I mean, that's the thing. We can't trust them after we help them escape. I mean,
As long as the contract,
Grim,
Yeah.
Would you allow the contract to extend to, say, like a patron?
the patron of the law.
A patron?
Are you asking
like-
me?
Could I, on my next level, take your level of warlock?
We all take up the level of war.
I'd certainly consider it.
I mean, this would be the only one out.
As I
We're
mentioned, the
all-
Blood Queen is a fey creature.
Yeah, I mean, you could fully make pacts with them and everything like that. Well, in the name of the best chances and everything, I'll at least sign any contract.
Good. This thing will have to wait until morning, of course, the next day. And we'll have to take some sort of precautions as well. These half-breeds. And she looks as if she's about to sort of slap the mosquito standing right next to her, but instead just sort of gently pats its head.
Abdomen.
Don't really have the intelligence that I have. And while I can control them to some extent, it's been some time since we've fed. You understand, of course. I mean, there's no reason to deny their nature, certainly.
Would you like to join our retinue and accompany us back to the other island? We will, or at least I will, ensure your safety.
Put her in Chester.
Again,
Not like a
it's
surprise.
nothing personal, of course, but you will have to have a contract in place before I allow you to take me to the middle of the ocean.
We sign a contract that before we sign our other contract stating that we're not going to kill each other before.
You sort of
I
broke
mean,
up
I
during that.
think-
I didn't.
Oh. Can we sign a contract before our main contract saying that we won't kill each other before we...
I do love signing
that's the-
contracts.
Gentleman's agreement that we would have to stipulate the
A gentlewoman's
actual
agreement.
contract. Well, yes, but I was just using the generic term.
Oh, of course.
Look, all I'm saying is that, I mean, the gentlewoman's agreement doesn't stop the mosquitoes from killing us.
No.
And she's
The best that I can
herself
do
that
is command them to the other side of the island. While we wait for this weather to conclude, we sign our contract, we mingle our bloods together, and then we leave the island. I, as I mentioned, care very little for these half-bloods.
Oh, that sounds fine to me. All the other bugs go
So
to the north side.
why does she want to leave the island? Or, I mean, in character, why do you want to leave the island?
Well, it's simple. I want to go to the mainland. I want to go where there's more food, more experiences, more opportunities for one such as I.
but it seems weird that you would just leave behind. Wait. So, like, is the contract to move you or your whole?
Me, I don't care about these much. I can always make more should the need suffice or arise.
Well, when we fight attempt to kill the colossal crab, are you fighting alone, or will you be bringing your brood?
Sweet child, I never fight alone.
Fair enough then. I mean, for transporting just you, it's definitely a much easier case than transporting a bunch of
it
mosquitoes.
was a slight bit of miscommunication. No, you're not taking my entire family with me. You're only transporting
My
me.
extended relatives. I mean, that seems like a fairly simple, task then.
Wait, but if we're only taking you, so how can you want us to deal with your entire family?
That's a good point. Yeah, we're gonna need the rest of your brood to leave the island.
Well, I can send them to the larger island.
I guess that works.
They'll live out the end of their days until they pass naturally, and without their queen to be making more of them, they should eventually die out.
I mean,
And if not, they might
mosquitoes
thrive
don't
on the
need
villages.
queens to make more, technically.
They're all females. They can't reproduce anyways.
Oh, there's no male.
No.
Males don't drink blood. There might be males, but males don't drink
Very
blood.
true. All I can say is that as of this point, we have not seen a male mosquito. You know, in real life, male mosquitoes are significantly larger than female mosquitoes.
Isn't it the other way around? The male are tiny and they don't drink blood.
No, mosquitoes, males are significantly larger.
Looking up mosquito facts 101 over here. All right, let's find out.
As far as I believe.
All right, here we go. Mosquitoes. They didn't give you Zika.
Yeah, they didn't
Not
give you
good.
Zika.
Yellow fever.
I even had diseases prepared, guys.
In terms of size, female mosquitoes are generally larger than males.
Oh.
The one chance to use lesser restoration. Or can't.
And yeah, and like the female mosquitoes are the ones that have large proboscises that can pierce human skin.
Yeah.
A very strange tangent, but nonetheless.
Well, they're not much bigger, to be fair.
No, they're not much bigger, but
And the males eat nectar from plants. Aww.
yeah.
But
Anyway, this is a species of mosquitoes we don't know. The males could be bigger.
I assure you,
Also-
without me, these things will die off eventually. They're not
They're also half baked.
exactly the most natural things.
They're half baked creatures and everything like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know whether the males are going to be bigger or smaller. She
I'll
probably
admit,
just
though,
makes
it
them by
may take a little bit
symbiosis.
longer for them to expire due to natural causes.
I mean, honestly, that's quite fine. The humans on the island, or the tribes people on the island, are kind of dicks. There are some other humans which are our friends. But
As
they'll
long
be
as you
leaving
don't
with us.
attack them, they'll be living with us. They're our friends.
How big is the queen?
She's medium. She's a bit bulkier than, like the other ones are sort of medium, but medium as in, a wolf type size. She's more sort of, definitely humanoid type size. It looks like if she were to stretch out and, all that, she would be a good deal bigger, but,
Fake mosquito.
What?
She's a thick
She's thick.
mosquito.
Big mosquito.
Well then, should we send the half-breeds to the other side of the island? We'll go wait by our boats till the morning, and we'll sign
Indeed, but I
contracts
would
and
like to
head back to the
caution
main
you
island.
that half-breeds is more sort of my word for them.
Makes sense.
Mosquitoes.
Right? What would you like us to call them then?
Just call them children.
They're not our children, though.
But
Right.
you would call children that are not your children still children, correct?
True.
You would say, look at all those children, a flock of them. Don't they look delicious?
Look at that flock of children. A gaggle.
I don't find other children delicious.
Well,
No, I'm
to each
allowed.
their own.
I mean, children are food.
I mean, depends on what type of children you. Maybe. I guess if you see like bear children or like animal children, maybe.
Have you never had veal?
Could you not send the
Lamb.
mosquitoes out to sea to just perish?
I don't think she wants to kill them needlessly.
Correct.
She doesn't think highly of them, but she'd have some
Surely.
attachment.
I should at least give them a chance of survival, yes?
Yeah, let them live as long as they can live naturally.
Indeed.
I mean, if we can clear the island without having to send them to the main island, it would be preferred. Because maybe you guys forgot, but there's also the, crew on the island as well.
Yes,
And
but like the idea is that they don't attack our crew.
I imagine that part of our contract will be that they won't move on to the island until the crab is defeated. And then at that point, the Sahagwin can move here.
No, I don't. But the idea is that once the Sahagin move here, they'll agree to help us.
Yeah. I think the Sahagwin aren't really going to want to.
Perhaps we can take some time and sort of blot things out a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems as if
What do you think?
you are slightly unclear about the things that you wish.
We're
Well,
making
we
too many
kind
deals.
of-
We need
we have-
to.
We have
Carry
an
out
advocate for the Sahagwin with us. We have who is speaking for them with us.
I mean,
Yeah.
Stubby
you
is
think
not
that
like
they
the
would-
leader of the
No,
Sahagwin.
but
They can easily
he-
say no to him.
He has the sway and he is, I guess,
don't-
our voice to the Sahagwin. If he does not think it would be viable at all, then yes, we will have to reapproach it. But if he thinks they would be at least somewhat amicable towards the idea of, waiting a week or two.
What was the question?
I mean, we're kind of asking.
Does he think that, like, the Sahagwin would agree to help them
Wait.
with the gods so then they can get the island then? Like, basically, does Stubby think he could go back, explain the plan to the Sahagwin, point out that, they get the island, the bugs get the bigger island, and the humans can just fight for survival after we're gone?
Like, maybe, but that might be something that you gotta talk to him with.
Do you think
Yeah.
you could set up a meeting with, I guess, the elders or the leaders of the Sahagwin tribe?
Like, maybe, if you can get down there. Like, the thing is, I don't think they're gonna come up top.
Would they come to the water temple? The villagers don't go there, and it's still largely.
What, where the big
underwater,
crab
so
thing
they
lives?
would-
Probably not.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They're kind of. So, are they superstitious too, or are they
Nah,
just,
they're realists.
That's fair, I
They're not
guess.
stupid.
Well, I guess we would have to. We planned on getting underwater at some point anyway, so we would have to continue with that to get down
But
there.
isn't how are we going to go underwater first?
That's what we had to figure out anyway. If we had planned on killing the Sahagin.
Ask,
I mean, but we weren't going to
It's
kill them
okay.
anymore. Like we managed to.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, even if our original plan had, and we kept through with the original plan of killing the Sahagin, we would have had to have figured out how to go underwater, because the only person who can cast water breathing that we know of is Cass, and yeah, I mean, I can command her to do it, but yeah.
So the queen, who had sort of been doing the same thing where she's, looking at her quote-unquote fingernails, would sort of pipe up. And it becomes very apparent that although she doesn't speak it, she understands common. Why don't you just lie to one of the groups? I mean,
that is
not myself personally.
Well, the thing is, even in doing what we're doing, we're not lying to anyone. But the humans, I guess, yes, the humans are still the ones who we're not exactly the most honest with. They're the ones that I personally wouldn't really have any issue with if they were to disappear entirely.
Oh, don't be so harsh on the humans. Some of my best meals have been humans.
I have no doubt about that at all. I would just like to state that changeling hair doesn't taste very well.
You know I joke, of course. I try not to kill.
Ah, so you're efficient.
But look...
I have no issue throwing the tribespeople to the wolves. They're a bit more bloodthirsty than even the blood drinker.
I don't know if you can, but can you just take your children to the main island and tell them to stay near the humans, like the tribe, and stay away from our people?
You want them near the tribe, but far away from your own people?
Just so that the Sahagin are happy for now and that they can come here and help us. Because that would be the best deal we could have.
You understand that for the most part, if we were to go to the island, I would have some measure of control over them, as if I do now. I could keep them somewhat sequestered in an area for quite some time. Until, of course, their hunger gets the best of them.
How many children do you have?
You can count nowadays.
Do you think they could possibly take the entire tribe out with a little bit of help?
That would be incredibly foolish. As I mentioned, one doesn't kill their... Well, let us be frank here, their food source. Otherwise, one doesn't have anything to eat.
If anything, the tribe will wipe them out.
There's plenty of frogs and birds on that.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Fair enough.
I mean, why does she care what her children eat?
Wasn't the implication that I would join in on that at first? We're not talking about after I've left, are we? We're talking about now, while I'm still there.
And now, whilst they're there, we just want... If you can control them in the main island, the Sahagin can come here, but none of you, or neither you nor your children are here. They'd be happy and they'd help us. You'd be sort of helping us once we deal, like, we'd be helping you and you'd be helping us because you're coming with us,
right? And of course, don't forget that we would be bound by blood.
that. And I mean, the tribe people would sort of be happy for now because the Sahagin would be gone. They'd help us.
I don't think the tribe people are going to be happy once they figure out that we're the direct cause of the blood-sucking bugs moving to the island.
maybe they don't know we send them there. Maybe just they won't know we send them there. They know we came here for the bugs, but
And then all of a sudden the bugs are now on the island. That's gonna be kind of suspicious.
And we've made a quite a reputation, it seems, of, or at least a habit
Backing out
of,
deals.
not necessarily that, but doing unorthodox things.
Right. At one point, one of these groups is going to get pissed at us, and
I personally
maybe
would
not be
prefer it to
friendly.
be
look,
human.
we don't. We cannot make every group happy at that point. Then, and I don't trust the tribes people that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say if we
I'm
throw
fine
a
with
to the wolves, it's
Just
the
taking
human.
I'm fine with taking. Still fine with taking the mosquitoes to the main island.
But the problem with that is the tribe people might decide to attack us as soon as we get back because we essentially, in their eyes, backed out of the deal. And we're part of their tribe now. So this could be a great insult to them.
We don't exactly have any deal pertaining to the bugs at all with the tribe.
But we told them about the altered deal.
That's fine, but I mean,
And
if
that's
they
their
get angry at us
problem.
over the bugs, that's because we essentially invited the bugs over, but we haven't broken any deals with them or any
Right.
bonds or contracts.
I'm just trying to look at it from a realistic point of view. As soon as we get back,
They're going to be angry sooner or later, no doubt.
but I'm betting on sooner rather than later. And I would rather not have to fight an entire tribe. If anything, I would rather have them dealt with at the end of this than now and potentially be interference.
That's why I was originally thinking the bugs move over after we've dealt with the gods, because then we're more or less set to start building the boat and get gone.
I agree. Like I said, our best bet is to deal with the Sahagwin first and try to work out once the god is dealt with and we're ready to leave, then they can have the island. That is our best bet.
Well, we'll have to talk to the Sahagwin elders about how much they're willing to give us before we have to deliver on something on our deal before they can get their land, essentially. But I mean, for now, we can at least take the queen with us and give her a bit more adventure than she's been having at the current point. And then when the god comes, she can have her people help us in the fight, and then they can remain on the main island after that point, and then the Sahagwin can move here.
I guess that we could do that. Yeah, I mean,
The
Yeah.
only thing I don't feel comfortable about all this is making the blood deal with her.
That's why I said, if anything, I'm more than happy to at least fulfill that part for us. She says she wants all of us, but if a couple of us or even one of us are bound well enough,
If she's willing to make that deal, I will be okay with that. But I'm already part of a deal with another entity. I don't need to make bound myself to another. Too much conflict on desires.
I think that would be something between your god or patron or whatever it might be and her. I wonder which would be stronger.
A giant snake, probably.
Queen?
okay.
It looks as if she wasn't paying attention. Oh, well, strength among the Fae is sometimes a little bit fickle to determine. Of course, I believe in my own strength, of course, but mine is sometimes slightly different than others. Were you to, I don't know, task me to push a boulder up a hill for all of eternity, I would get tired and bored within the first 20 minutes.
As would I would imagine. anyone.
Most people, but then again, there are some of the Fae who would see that as a right-fitting challenge and go at it with such vigor as you had probably never seen before.
Some people might even be happy with that.
Yeah, some people are indeed rather stupid.
Say Cyprian or whatever his name was. Sibelius
Mm-hmm.
was the happiest man alive.
But either way, I'm not
Physical
asking you
philosophy?
to be bound to me under those sorts of circumstances. I merely intend a moderately short-term contract ensuring that we cannot double-cross, crisscross, triple-cross, or any kind of cross each other. Something that keeps me safe and keeps you safe. I assure you I'm working in good faith here.
In the name of freedom, I would believe so. So that's why I'm willing to make the deal.
But I mean,
Oh, but-
again, from an OOC standpoint, I would like to actually write something up, and I'd like for you all to think of something that you would like to write up in a contract, because it sort of goes both ways. In the meantime, and then we'll actually next session sort of, or in between sessions, sort of hammer things like actually down.
Yeah. But for now, so what are we doing right now? Are we leaving with the queen and
We go back to the Wave Striders and
Yeah, I think we're just sleeping.
wait
tonight,
till morning.
basically.
and Queen will make sure her children stay to the other side of the
Exactly, and thank you so much for calling them the right way. I certainly appreciate that. Shall we travel to the other side of my island?
Yes.
yeah?
Have you seen the architecture yet? It's very interesting.
I
How?
can see why the saying.
Let's see if we can examine it for a minute.
Oh,
We came through some ruins.
and
Yeah.
there is one other thing, as sort of a gesture of good faith. Give me but a moment, please. And she sort of walks off. We haven't seen her fly yet. We've seen her walking a lot,
Oh yeah.
but not flying.
Wouldn't want to miss all the magic items. She's gonna take some. From us.
She grabs something, and she gives you... Whoops. Some boots.
Some boots.
Oh,
yeah.
ooh.
Some boots.
We thank you for
Boots.
the boots.
You're welcome. It's a gesture of good faith, of course.
The curse. Probably like. That's probably why she can't walk. It's like the boots of walking. You can never leave the ground again. It's why she can't fly.
Well, let's
The
get
wings
the
boost the destruction.
identify them.
Yeah. As I guess we're walking back, Azori will identify it.
Yes, I forgot we could
Well, you identify?
things. So we have
Yep.
two things.
They're two different shoes.
Well, no, there's also the ring as well.
Oh yeah.
If yeah, I'm about
Yeah,
to say
Tythrin has been
if-
wearing.
The
If Tythrin would
bracelet,
let us
excuse
already.
me. Tythrin, would you like to hand over the bracelet so it can be
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
You find you can't take it
the
off.
description is updated
What description?
of the ring.
Where?
Where's the
Okay.
ring?
The handout.
What
Oh
hand?
my God.
Oh, Ram's ring.
Ram's
Okay,
ring.
there we go.
Expended charges.
That's pretty cool.
I need 3 expensive charges.
Ooh. Oh,
And the boots have been updated.
The nimble boots.
Nimble boots.
All right, and I think we're going to go ahead and end the session there. It is a tiny bit early, but not too much early.
I feel like Sharper should get those boots.
Doesn't Sharp already do all that by default, though?
He doesn't.
Yeah, I
take
don't think
boots.
like it helps me.
Yeah.
It doesn't help
No,
me or Sharper.
The only bonus is I'd get normal walking speed.
Yeah, which is what I was thinking for. And doesn't it?
I mean, it's
give...
also good if I get an extra 5 feet of movement, so now I get
Oh, no,
45.
as,
But
yeah, as a bonus.
So when you take dash, you can do the others as a bonus.
Yeah. So he can.
Yeah.
Just
He
do
can
it.
already just
Anyway.
do it anyway.
I thought it was a free action
Yeah.
for a second.
it can do
Well,
those
then,
as well.
yeah.
So
Pathrunorix, sorry. I don't really need those boots.
I mean, I'd be fine giving it to Azori.
I was gonna say, because I feel as the healer, having an extra speed boost and other stuff might help me get around the battlefield a little bit more.
But if you could pop them onto the party notes and say who has it, I would appreciate that. Oh, we also have 6 of one type of strange fruit and 6
Right,
of
we
another
never
type of
identified
strange
the
fruit.
fruit.
Yeah, we never
No, we have
wrote it down either.
lily fruits.
Wait, what was the other strange fruit?
Yeah, I'll say,
knew
now
there
that I
was
have the
the blue
time, I
ones,
tried to see if
The one we pulled off a tree looked
The-
slightly different.
Oh,
Yeah,
does
the
it?
one we.
Oh, okay. So the 8 I got weren't just healing fruits?
We have pulled this fruit off, and we have pulled this fruit off.
but yeah, but we know we've already pulled the tree fruit, like the first one,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, we are like we went to the healing tree. What did we get? We got these blue fruits as well.
no, we
those
got the
were
green
on
ones. The
the
blue
web
ones were
strip.
So
attached
the
to
green
both.
fruits heal
Yeah.
1 HP. The blue fruits,
Well, we have 8,
huh?
not
What?
6. We have 8 of the green
Right.
fruits.
The blue fruits are the processed version of the green fruits, and they work exactly the same as a healing potion.
I see. Okay. Oh, okay.
So Barial wasn't trying to kill us. Interesting.
Interesting. But yes, I thought that was an interesting session, surely. Definitely not what I
But
planned.
it was.
Who knew
The
that
weather.
would turn into a diplomatic campaign?
Yeah.
Imagine having your plans ruined by some strange.
You know, we were gonna fight our way through to her, and we were either going to, have an epic boss fight with her, or we were going to talk to her, because she was going to attempt to talk to us first. Because, I knew at least one of you spoke Sylvian.
Well, regardless,
did,
there was
yeah.
a chance we were going to end up in another diplomatic situation
Yeah,
again.
well,
Yay for the weather.
Yeah, no, I totally thought that.
But I also
battle
thought that was probably
the
gonna
whole battle
last-
up to there would have been a
Yeah,
good
I
one.
also thought that was going to be
Hey,
2
to be
sessions
fair.
worth of fighting.
If we can keep them, if we can keep them from killing each other, we can absolutely dominate this crab turtle god, because we're going to control the seas with the Sahagwin, the air with the mosquitoes, and the land with the humans.
We're all powerful. We control everything. We control air, sea, and land.
But either way, I think it was a good one. And after
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
stop recording, I'm going to figure out all the XP we're supposed to get for not fighting.
All the XP that we get from dealing with the mosquitoes without having to fight them.
Exactly.
2 sessions worth of XP.
Pretty much.
Oh god.
But yeah, even still, I liked it. I think the Queen is a fun character.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's just interesting.
it was really interesting.
So yeah, if you've been
Very
watching, I definitely thank you for watching. I certainly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And you should tell a friend to watch too. I hope you all have a great day, and peace out. Bye
No,
bye.
Grim, you should watch this.
Bye.
I should watch this. Thank you.